It is a Thursday in the fall. It's time for football. It may be September 9th, but it feels like Thanksgiving here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Dan Bolak and Mike Flynn. Mike, we are ready to we are ready to go with Fitchburg versus Leominster. It feels a little bit like November. It's a little bit warmer than it usually is on Thanksgiving.
Well, it was. The last time we were here on a cold Wednesday night, it was 50 degrees colder and windy, but I guess it feels like a little bit like Thanksgiving.
A little bit, the rain's coming down, but it is a bit warmer than the last Thanksgiving game, as you said. We also want to mention just at the top of the program here, Mike, this is the first time you and I have been together calling a game since we lost our good friend Dave Clark.
Yeah, when we left Crocker Field back in November of 2019, I don't think anybody thought was going to happen. First, we went through the pandemic. And then we lost Dave in early March, and I lost a great friend and a broadcast partner of over 40 years. And this will be the only fourth game I think I've done without Dave since 1980. So I want to thank you guys for inviting me to tag along for a couple of games. And
hey, you are, as I told you off the air, man, you are a part of this broadcast just as much as we are. As much as you want to be here, we want to have you. It's a great honor every time we get the chance to call a game with you.
Well, I'll see what I can do. It might be a little rusty, but we'll see what happens.
Dan, is this the first time you're going to get to call a game with Mike? Have you two worked together in the past?
I mean, we've, I think, had our first proper conversation just a little over an hour ago, basically. We've never really had the chance to cross paths. I never really had the chance to cross paths with Dave as well. I think the only time I ever really got to talk with him was me handing my headset to him that Thanksgiving back in 2019. Because I got to do the pregame, and I think it was an honor just to even be able to do that much. So being here in this position, getting to call Fitchburg High football, it's a bit of an honor. But I know that I'd rather Dave be in this seat and me in the truck trying to do graphics and other stuff.
It's a difficult loss. We always want to send our best to Dave's friends and family and everyone who remembers watching him and listening to him call games from many games here from Doyle Field, from Crocker Field in Fitchburg. We're gonna try to do right by his memory as we get ready to cover the 139th installment of the rivalry between Leominster and Fitchburg. We'll take a look at the teams in just a moment with Dan, but before we do that, we want to send out some thanks to our underwriters. FATV's remote productions are underwritten by Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, the UMass Memorial Health Alliance, Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Unitil, Minuteman Press, and the Sentinel and Enterprise. Thanks as always to them. And if you or your business would like to become an underwriter of FATV, just go to fatv.org and you can find our contact information. We're more than happy to tell you how to give us money here at FATV. They didn't tell me to say that, so I might be in trouble, but it wouldn't be a broadcast if we weren't in at least a little bit of trouble, right, Dan?
Of course.
Okay.
And there are our mugs on the screen. A wonderful hello to everyone here, and thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you're nice and warm and dry wherever you are, and we're going to keep you company over the next couple hours as we have, for the first time since 1916, these two teams are going to deliberately play each other twice in 1 year.
Way back in the day, Dan, you were telling me it used to be the norm. Fitchburg and Leominster will play twice a season, not even on Thanksgiving. This year, a little bit different. Things are, shockingly, I know, for those of you who have been living under a rock for the past 2.5 years, things are a little different now. So they're going to start the season with Fitchburg versus Leominster tonight, and they will still meet on Thanksgiving at Crocker Field.
Indeed. And, of course, those will rotate. So next year, the kickoff will be at Crocker, and Thanksgiving will be at Doyle.
Fantastic. So as we take a look at the two teams, they did play a little bit of football earlier this year in the Fall 2 season. Really different records. Teams went in different directions in the Fall 2 campaign, Dan.
Indeed they did. So for Leominster, they ultimately went 0-4 in the Fall 2 campaign, lost 15-14 at Shepherd Hill, lost 14-12 at Shrewsbury, got smoked by Wachusett 49-14, and then the one home game they got on April 17th. The last time that the Blue Devils took the field as they are now was against the Highlanders of Doherty, and that was a 40-20 loss. It was the Noah Calorie show. He had 6 touchdowns for Doherty in that one. As for Fitchburg High, 4-1 in the Fall 2 campaign. They had that memorable opener against Hingham. It was supposed to be Leominster. We were supposed to have the 139th meeting that day, but instead we got Hingham in what was an exciting game for so many different reasons. The Raiders took that 35-28. We went down to Grafton. We had a full production down there at Grafton, and we got an overtime thriller. 15-7, the Raiders won that one. We got to do that game remotely with St. John's, and that was, well, it was nice, a bit of a throwback opponent, but the results not as...
Left something to be desired with a 44-7 defeat at the hands of St. John's.
And then Westboro and Oakmont, we got to do those, I got to do those games remotely as well. And 35-11 over Westboro, 39-14 over Oakmont. The Red Raiders finished 4-1 in the Fall 2 season. They bring a lot of momentum into this campaign.
But, you know, it is a brand new campaign, even if it is just 5 months since the last time these two teams played football. And, Mike, as the teams take the field and head to the center field for the coin toss, it's a new look for both of these squads as well.
Yeah, it is. When Fitchburg first came out, I said, when did they come out with the gray or silver or pewter helmets? And they've gone to a little darker red on their numerals and Fitchburg across the chest. And Leominster has also changed the shade of their jerseys, so
it's a little bit darker blue. You know, they used to be, you know, pretty much straight up royal blue. I think we'll call this blueberry now for the Blue Devils.
You can do that.
I can do that.
I'm not sure the players would like to be called blueberry, but
well, you know, this is FATV after all. We have to poke a little bit of fun.
We see the captains coming out to the field. We see 4 Leominster, Mackay Newton, Caden Constant, Miguel Cabrera, and Tony Palmarello. For the Red Raiders, Sam Faulkner, Anthony Aquendo, Colin Dudek, and Gio DiCarlo are the captains for the Red Raiders.
Those who have been paying extremely close attention to Fitchburg High School football over the years will recognize that Anthony Aquendo is wearing a new jersey number. I believe he used to be number 7. He is now number 1.
Indeed, and the starting quarterback for the Red Raiders last 2 years was Montgomery Graham, who wore number 1. This year's starting quarterback is Tyler Broussard, and he's wearing number 7.
We will step aside for the national anthem and come back with Fitchburg versus Leominster. It's a Thanksgiving preview right here on FATV. Fitchburg High School football here on FATV. John Gugerty joined by Mike Flynn and Dan Bolak, Doe Banlack with us as well, as we get ready for the 139th meeting of the rivalry, Fitchburg versus Leominster, one of the longest running rivalries in all of high school sports. The teams are at midfield for the coin toss, joined by the mayors of Fitchburg and Leominster, Dean Mazzarella and Steve Di Natale. It is up. It is down. We await the ruling. There's a Dave Douglas sighting, one of the men in the hat. Always good to see Dave. Leominster has won the toss and deferred, so Fitchburg will get the ball first. And Mike, as the Raiders get set to take the field offensively for the first time this season, there really is no wind to contend with, but the rain is coming down pretty steady. Do you think that's going to mean a pretty simple offense for the Red Raiders?
Because we're playing on an unofficial surface, I think that helps with the rain, because if we were on grass, it could get messy really quickly. But I think the key is keeping the ball as dry as possible. And, we used to always talk about it in our first game. We have no idea what's going to happen.
That is very true.
No idea, because these teams have changed since they last played. You got different personnel, and unlike the NFL, where you get to see them for 3 or 4 games and have some idea, I have no clue what offense they're going to run, or are they going to open it up, or they're just going to try to pound it up between the tackles.
One thing that has not helped the Red Raiders at all either is the fact they were not able to get any scrimmages in before the start of this season, while Leominster was able to get 2 in.
So might be a little bit, this is the first time the Raiders are going to be running their playbook against live opposition that they don't know, that they don't have class with, that might not be familiar with the playbook. So we will see how the Raiders come out on offense. Of course, first they have to return this kick. Back deep to return for Fitchburg are Donovan DeLeon and Josh Medina. Leominster yet to send out their kickoff offense. I believe the place kicker for them is going to be Ivan Kodua. Saw him warming up on the sidelines before the game. Could also be Terry DeOliveria, though. Dan, I thought there was supposed to be no cheering in the press box. I suppose it's not cheering, but I should note for the folks at home that Sean Sweeney is clapping along with the crowd rallying sounds here at Doyle Field. Just thought it was worth noting.
Sean is easily amused.
Mm-hmm. Always good to have Sean with us.
Indeed, and it will be DeOliveria who will be kicking off for the Blue Devils.
And here with the play-by-play action for the first and fourth quarters as we get this season underway is Mr. Dan Bolak.
Thank you very much, John. As you mentioned, it is Medina and Donovan DeLeon back there deep for the Red Raiders as DeOliveria kicks it off high into the air, fielded at the 20-yard line, taken in by Medina, tries to cut to his left side, making his way forward, and wrestled down to the ground by Ricky Encarnacion. Brings it to about the 35-yard line, about a 15-yard return.
Good, solid return, sets the Raiders up 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Medina had one guy to beat on the outside, and Jack Fish didn't make the tackle, but he did enough to bring him back toward the rest of his team. Good job holding contain on the far side there by Fish.
So now 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders. Tyler Broussard, the quarterback for the red and gray. The handoff goes to Anthony Aquendo, comes up the middle, cuts to the left side, near side to the 50-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Encarnacion there. And a 16-yard gain for the senior on the first play from scrimmage this year.
Mike, you mentioned that we didn't really know what we were going to see from Fitchburg High, but it's not much of a surprise that the first play from scrimmage, the ball goes to Anthony Aquendo.
Yeah, there was no question that they were going to put the ball in number one's hands as many times as they can. And that time he did a nice job of reading the blocking, cut back to his left, and gets into Leominster territory for the first time tonight.
Didn't take too long there. I know we're expecting the Red Raiders to keep it on the ground a lot in this contest. As we see a couple men in motion to the near side. And it's going to be Aquendo bursting through the middle again, and it takes 3, 4 Blue Devils to wrap them up at the 40-yard line on the left hash.
Anthony Aquendo spinning out of 3 tacklers before being brought down. close to the line to gain.
It'll be given, and it'll be another first down.
2 plays, they're already inside the 40. Anthony Oquendo picking up right where he left off. Now the Raiders will go from the gun for the first time.
Leominster playing for the run. They've got 8 or 9 guys up in the box.
This time it's Oquendo, gets around the man to the right side, finds a hole, only one man to wrap him up there. Bear hugs him, won't let go. But Oquendo gets to the 30-yard line on that one. It'll be 9 yards gained.
I suppose, Dan, if you're Leominster, that has to be seen as a positive because it's the first time they've stopped Oquendo short of getting a first down. But still, you know, even with 8 or 9 guys in the box, as Mike pointed out, they can't find an answer to him. The offensive line is opening up huge holes, and Oquendo is hitting them hard.
He's on the sideline for a breather.
Yep, he'll take a breather. Colin Dudek to the left and Jared Phillips to the right as they work their way up the middle on that one. Gain of a couple that time for the Raiders. Didn't see the handoff.
They didn't need much, but Dudek got it. They'll move the chains for another Raider first down.
They only needed 1 yard, and they'll spot him at the 26-yard line. 4 carries, 39 yards on this drive for the red and gray. Splitting out 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right in the 2-man shotgun. And Broussard's going to throw near side. That's going to be through the hands and intercepted. There is a flag on the play as well, as the Blue Devil with the pick on the far side. Riley Costa came up with it. They'll check the penalty marker, though.
Flag was thrown from the back. Usually indicates, I would think, a defensive hold, but we'll see.
Holding on the offense, so that interception will stand. And that brings an end to the drive. The first pass attempt of the season ends in misfortune for the Red Raiders, and now we'll see what the Blue Devils can do on offense.
Mike, they had so much success moving the ball on the ground with Oquendo. They send him to the sidelines for a breather, try to go to the air, and it ends disastrously for Fitchburg.
Yeah, and the pass was pretty well thrown. It was right on the hands of the receiver. It just slipped right through, and you know, Johnny on the spot was the Leominster defensive back for the interception.
So Caden Constant in the backfield, first down handoff. Mackay Newton taking the carry, going out to the far side of the field on the left side to the flank. And he gets to about the 25-yard line. Give him a few on that one.
Rain has let up maybe a little bit, but it's still coming down pretty intensely.
Now on second down, another run on the far side. That'll be enough for a first.
Oquendo made the tackle there for Fitchburg. Jesse Ramos checks in, get a little more beef on the defensive line for the Raiders.
So a new set of downs for the Blue Devils to work with. Newton trying to make his way to the flank again, staying on his feet. Takes a couple of Red Raiders to knock him down. He'll get to about the 35-yard line.
Mike, both of these teams have had a lot of success on the ground here in the early stages of the first quarter.
Well, you guys mentioned it in the pregame show. You thought it was going to be a ground and pound game, and so far, other than the one pass that turned out to be a disaster for the Red Raiders, it's been all running.
So second down, 6 to go. Constant, well back there, gives the handoff, and getting wrapped up in the backfield is Nico Martinez, not getting much of anything. And he passed Reno on the tackle there for the Red Raiders.
So far, the Blue Devils running predominantly to their left.
Trying to see if there's something on that side of the field that they can exploit. And we have a timeout with 7:43 to go in the first quarter of play. No score. So we have a look at that last play.
After the play, you see a little bit of pushing and shoving, and then,
No.
between Fitchburg and Leominster, I know, it's surprising.
Now back to action here as Constant rolling out to the near side. Pass is complete. He finds Jared Viola, who makes his way past the 45-yard line and close to midfield. It's enough for a first down.
Leominster goes to the air for the first time. They have more success than Fitchburg did. For one, they keep the ball, but for two, they're able to pick up the first down, move the chains. They're getting very close to midfield.
And that was way too easy, as the Leominster receiver found a nice dead spot in the Fitchburg zone. He was 6 or 7 yards away from any Fitchburg defender.
Now Constant with the handoff. And getting wrapped up again in the backfield. Nico Martinez not able to find any progress, not finding the success that Mackay Newton's been able to.
Leominster lined up in an interesting little pistol formation here. They've got Martinez lined up as the fullback to the right of the quarterback. They also had Newton as a tailback. He was very deep in the backfield there. They tried the handoff straight up the gut to the fullback, Martinez, and get absolutely nothing. Actually lose a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 13.
I wanted to give credit to number 51 for Fitchburg, but I don't see him on the roster.
That is Emmy Pastorino.
Okay, I was going to call him Ed Reynolds. That's the guy we used to use when nobody was, with no number. But
one of those late communications that we got. This time Caden Constant trying to roll out to the near side, to the right flank, and trying to find some yardage himself. He gets nothing.
Angel Alejandro on the hit for the Raiders. See, he was the first guy there. Pastorino right there as well.
Good job by the Fitchburg defense running downhill to the ball and knocking him down for a loss.
Ball is on the 45 of Leominster. They need to get to the 42 of Fitchburg to advance the chains.
Already 1 for 1 on third down tonight. 2 in the backfield again. You see Martinez as the fullback and Newton as the far tailback, and Leominster is going to call timeout here with 5:34 to go.
Folks, we want to mention that in addition to our live streams on the internet, you can now watch FATV programming in stunning high definition on the following streaming services. You've got Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV, or you can download our apps in the Android and Apple stores. Download the app today. It is, of course, free. And to learn more on how to watch FATV programming, you could go to fatv.org/watch-FATV. That's fatv.org/watch, a hyphen, and then FATV.
So about halfway through this first quarter of play, no score between the two sides, 39 yards of offense for the Red Raiders and 25 yards offense for the Blue Devils. But now a critical third and long coming up for the Blue and White.
My guess is the clock's not supposed to be running at this time.
Yeah,
just a guess.
They did just call timeout. That's the point of calling timeout, right?
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
that's the timeout
timing
clock.
the timeouts now.
I see. Okay.
Ah.
That's a good thing to time.
I looked at the clock and Dan said we're halfway through, and I go, there's a minute left, but he is. It's 5:34.
Yep, that's just one of those quirks of the scoreboard. So it's going to be 3rd and 13. Constant will hand it off to Newton. No, it's a play action, a fake, and a Constant will keep it himself. Barrel through the middle of the line. He's not going to get the first down, but he does get into Fitchburg territory. Now Devin Gates is something to think about.
Brings up a much more reasonable 4th down if they want to go for it. I don't think this is a designed run. You can see Constant looking downfield. He doesn't really see anything, decides to keep it himself, gets some really good yardage. After the play, Dan, I actually saw Ricky Encarnacion well downfield, kind of looking at his quarterback with his arms out like, come on, man, I'm right here.
Got to get to the 42 for a first down, and they will go for it, and I think that's the thing to do in this situation. And they're going to give it to Newton this time. He's going to get the first down. He's across the 40-yard line. Wrapped up there by Giancarlo and Joshua Medina. It'll be a first down for the Blue Devils.
Mike, that is not the play call I would have gone with there. 4th and 3, you call halfback dive right off the left guard, but it worked perfectly for Leominster.
Worked really too easy. He got that first down before he was contacted.
And we have a flag out here. This will be the first accepted penalty of the night.
It's against the Raiders. They'll march off 5 yards. Of course, being here at Doyle Field, we are in the tiny little visitors press box. They're playing to the far side, which is unfortunate, but you know, we'll make do.
At least there's one on both sides.
That's true.
We're not all crammed into one.
That's very true. We could all be at Elliott Field.
First and 5, it'll be play action as Constant keeps it himself. He'll dump it off to the near side. It is complete and making his way down the field. Encarnacion makes it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
There is a flag.
I think they're going to get the quarterback Constant for a block in the back. He was running downfield after he made that pass, after he completed it to Encarnacion, looking for somebody to hit. And pretty much as soon as he made contact, that little yellow hanky came out. I think this is going to be a block in the back. You see right there, block in the back against Leominster. I would bet you anything it's on Caden Constant.
So for the block in the back, that's going to lose some yards there. They'll get to keep some of them.
Well, take a look at it here. I think you saw it right there at the start of the replay. Constant number 9 throwing the block in the back. It did spring Encarnacion, but you know, there were rules against that. It's still a good gain for the Blue Devils. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Raider 22, but it pulls points off the board.
So the block in the back happens at the 12-yard line, essentially. As now this is Newton trying to make his way to the left side, not going to get there. Colin Dudek wrapping the legs.
Dudek did a great job bursting into the backfield. You see him there grabbing the ball carrier Newton by the ankles, not letting him get away.
That's his play, sets the edge and makes the tackle, because if he doesn't make it, all in front of him is green grass to the end zone. Or green rug, whatever you want to call that stuff.
Hey, we're very thankful for it. Just imagine the condition Crocker Field would be in right now.
So now it'll be 2nd and 15 on the loss of 5 yards. Constant looking around, looking to figure out where he wants to go. He's going to run with it instead. And he found some room on the near side. Made a good bit of progress there. Won't be a first down, but it'll be pretty close.
Mike, have you ever seen a more obvious option play from the quarterback? He was constantly like looking to his right, looking to his right. Do I pitch it? Do I keep it? Do I pitch it? Do I keep it?
Yeah, but if you watch, no white shirt makes him make a decision here. He just keeps going and going and going. Now he finds some white shirts, and now he's got a pretty good gain. It's 3rd and 2. Somebody's got to come up and make him make a decision.
Give him the 13-yard line.
It erased the big loss on 1st down and a lot more.
Martinez and Newton again in the backfield with Constant. They'll go to Newton. Wrapped up immediately. Tried to find his way up the middle. You can see a couple Raiders coming in there.
I think it was Jellin and Jellin. Elijah and Emmanuel Jellin both bursting into the backfield here. Emmanuel makes the first hit.
Looks like they spotted on the 14-yard line. So a loss of a yard, and it brings up another 4th down. We've already seen Leominster convert once. This one an even tighter distance. They have to get to the 12. Constant barking out signals.
Looks like they might just be trying to draw the Raiders off.
And that was something that the Red Raiders fell victim to several times in the last couple of years, but not this time.
Discipline in general, Mike, has been a real problem for the Raiders for several seasons
You stole my line. I was going to say the elephant in the room is Fitchburg's penalties, and as you mentioned, over the last few seasons have been their downfall. To the point that sometimes it was embarrassing.
Yep, and even in the last game that I got to do, the Fitchburg-Oakmont game, I had Fitchburg down for 211 penalty yards in that contest.
I'm not surprised.
Mike, you're the veteran broadcaster. Is that good? I don't think that's good.
Do not believe that is good.
No, okay. I thought that. It's good to know that my instincts are right there.
Yep, I mean, a lot of those were unsportsmanlike conducts, just mouthing off after the whistle, I have to imagine, but still does not speak to good discipline. The Raiders have been a bit better in that regard this season, I mean, from what we've seen thus far.
Yeah, so far a couple of penalties, but nothing of the discipline type, an offside and a hold. But other than that, first quarter's been okay.
Really good crowd in attendance here. You know, for a lot of these fans, it's the first time they've been able to come out to a game since Thanksgiving of 2019. You know, the 2020 season, you know, the fall two was friends and family, if that only.
Crickets.
You know. Still plenty of good seats. If you're in Fitchburg and want to come on down to Doyle Field, you can catch the final 3 quarters of this one. If not, we'd be happy to keep you company right here on FATV. It is, after all, drier at home. Just putting that out there.
Once again, they need to get to the 12 for a first down. They've had a chance to talk about it. They are still going to go for it. And Constant looking to that left side. And in pursuit, Phillips, the first there. And Aquendo finishes the tackle to force the turnover on downs.
Jared Phillips was in the backfield almost from the moment the ball was snapped. You see him come up there, flex his biceps. He earned it. A fantastic defensive play there. Blows that up in the backfield before it has a chance to go anywhere. It's a massive loss. I mean, Dan, even when they lined up to go for it, you would think if you're Leominster, if you go for it and don't get it, you've got Fitchburg pinned deep in their own territory. After a sack like that, even that's not the case.
It was a 9-yard loss. In the end, they spot on the 23-yard line. And now we get to see what the Red Raiders can do after a bit of a break. Their second possession of the contest. And they'll start with Aquendo right up the middle. Aquendo wrapped up by 3 Blue Devils. Encarnacion the first there. But not before getting to the 37-yard line, of course.
We'll take another look at this big 4th down play blown up in the backfield right off the bat. That's actually the one that set up 4th down. The Jellens working together to bring up the 4th down, and then the 4th down play blown up by Phillips. But Mike, you know, getting back to the Fitchburg offense, it's like the rest of the game is playing Madden on veteran or Hall of Fame, and Anthony Aquendo's on rookie.
You lost me. You lost me on that.
He's good.
The last video game I played was Atari, I think.
Anthony Aquendo is good. Expand.
I just keep giving the ball until they stop him.
Yeah, 49 yards already gained, and he'll have 3 more on that one, stopped at the 40-yard line.
You know, if you're an offensive coordinator and you say, first down, I'm going to hand the ball off and get 3 yards, I think most guys would take that every time. For Anthony Aquendo, it's like, oh, he got 3 yards. Okay. Huh?
Well, Fitchburg's had the luxury over the last, I don't know, 10 or 12 years of having that feature back. They just keep feeding them over the entire game.
One of the big things that they had going for him last year was having another back in Devin Barisano and a mobile quarterback in Montgomery Graham. Of course, Barisano and Graham have graduated, but Aquendo's still there for his senior year, ready to wreak havoc, and we have a penalty on the handoff. Ball start against the Raiders as they wanted to hand it off there to Johnny L. Silvestri.
They sent Colin Dudek in motion from the backfield heading out to the far side, trying to mix it up a little bit of a different look, and not everybody was on the same page there. As the chance of you can't do that ring out from the Leominster sideline.
I think they're aware, but nonetheless.
We can give credit to some, you know, creative chant making. I think that's fine.
And the clock will run out on the first quarter of play. No score between these two sides in the 139th meeting of the rivalry.
It is the 139th meeting coming to you from Doyle Field in Leominster, but we want to talk a little bit about historic Crocker Field, recognized for its beauty and listed on the National Register of Historical Places, and it needs your help. Located in the heart of the community, built in 1918, this Central Massachusetts field has a fabled history in the hearts of Fitchburg High School alumni and a magnificent future in the Fitchburg community. You can be part of the restoration efforts and that future by donating today. Learn about how you can help the Crocker Field Restoration Committee online at crockerfield.org. You see that on the screen. screen, or you can mail your donations to Crocker Field Restoration Committee at 140 Arnhow Farm Road, Fitchburg, Mass. 01420. And don't forget, all those deductions are tax deductible. All those donations even are tax deductible. Your deductions should be tax deductible. If you're making deductions that aren't deductible, you're going to get audited and you're going to get in trouble. Have I done enough riffing off of my own misspeaking? Okay. I made Dan laugh, Mike. That's something, right?
Okay.
Okay. You know. I have like tiers of priorities in terms of who my jokes have to amuse. 1 is me, 2 is Dan, 3 is you and the people at home.
If it doesn't make you, if you can't make yourself laugh, then it's no good.
Exactly.
Why bother?
Yep. Ready for play-by-play?
I suppose.
Just don't give it to me. That's all.
Handoff goes up the left side, bouncing off the tacklers, and finally brought down is Devani DeLeon. First time we've called his name. Sophomore goes 5'10", 171.
I do have one game on my resume as a play-by-play guy in football.
Oh, really? How did that go?
I'm glad they burnt the tapes.
Do you remember who the teams were?
Absolutely. St. Bernard's and Clinton, Thanksgiving Day, 1989, I believe.
Okay. Well, we're doing St. Bernard's tomorrow. You want to come back and do play-by-play for that?
No. Okay. No.
Dan and I will be there for that, though.
Have fun.
Okay. Don't say I didn't invite you.
That was. They were both undefeated that year on Thanksgiving.
3rd down and 8. Quick pass by Broussard is caught. Diving forward for the first down is Nico Caputi. Pass looked to be a little bit behind him. We'll take another look at it. Like he almost kind of shot put it.
I was going to say the same thing. Kind of a little shot put over the middle, but they got the job done. They got the ball there and a first down at midfield.
First completed pass for Broussard, and by necessity, the first reception for Caputi. Junior hooking up with a senior there. Puts the Raiders exactly at the midfield stripe. As we get into the second quarter of action here from Doyle Field, still scoreless. Broussard barking for motion. The snap goes below him, and the officials save the Raiders from themselves there. Donovan DeLeon was lined up on the near side. Broussard expected him to go in motion across the formation, and he didn't. And then Broussard was barking at DeLeon, trying to get him to move. The center snapped the ball.
Well, in this case, the penalty works for Fitchburg.
Yeah.
That killed the play and saved them probably 10 yards in field position.
Yeah, it would have been a 12-yard loss at least, and a loss of down. As it is, it's a 5-yard loss, and you keep the down. So 1st down and 15 for Fitchburg.
It's a good false start.
When have you ever heard that expression? It was a good penalty that they took.
Hey, whatever works, right? Now Broussard comes out, looks to the sideline for a signal. Coach is actually on the field as we get started here, and they're going to call timeout. Fitchburg is not on the same page right now. I think they're working off the same book, but I'm not certain.
Sometimes you can tell it's the first game. Both teams have had their struggles sometimes getting the right play call from the sidelines.
First charged timeout of the half by Fitchburg. You can see there on your screen, Fitchburg with 2 remaining and Leominster with 1. I just poked at the screen as though you can see it. One of these days, we're going to get a telestrator.
I've been asking for a telestrator for 10 years.
Only 10?
Only 10. Well, yeah.
Had to think for a moment if telestrators existed before that, but they did.
Well,
yeah, they did.
Before 2011, we were on radio, and it wouldn't have worked that well.
Telestrator on the radio is not a great investment. But, I'm sure they can make use of it.
On my current stat check, Leominster 62 yards of offense, Fitchburg 71 yards of offense, 52 have come on the ground from Anthony Oquendo.
Raiders come out of the timeout facing 1st and 15. They're at their own 45-yard line. Oquendo and Dudek are in the backfield to the left and right of Broussard, respectively. DeLeon goes in motion. We got the timing right on that this time. Handoff goes to Oquendo on the sweep to the right. Plenty of blocking. He's not even touched until he crosses midfield, and finally dragged down at the Leominster 45 by Jack Fish. It's a gain of 10 for Oquendo. We'll take another look.
Watch him run half speed here and set up the blocking before he accelerates when he finds the hole. Phew.
Yeah, he's not just, get the ball and run as fast as you can. He's watching his blocks. He's seeing where the hole is, and then he hits it.
Well, the goal is not to run into the backs of your offensive linemen.
Gain of 10 after the penalty sets up 2nd down and 5. Fitchburg has been going almost exclusively from the gun. Saw Oquendo go up there and tap the right guard on the backside. That was interesting. Now he takes the ball to the left, cuts back to his right. He's got a big hole, cuts to his right again across the 30. Finally dragged down at about the 28 by Ricky Encarnacion. If Oquendo had gotten through Encarnacion, Mike, he would have been gone.
Tremendous cut right here at the line of scrimmage. Starts out left and then busts it back to his right.
Yeah, that was not a counter. That was just, there's nothing on the left. Right. I'm going to cut right and go.
Yeah, that wasn't, I'm going to go left and then I'll cut back right. He just read it that way.
Now 79 yards of offense for Oquendo. And Encarnacion, how many times have we seen him as the last man back for Leominster? He's done a great job on defense in this game.
Probably more times than you'd like if you're a Blue Devil fan, but it works for him. Motion to the near side this time. Oquendo to the right side. Busts through. No, he's dragged down by Encarnacion again.
It's not going to happen a third time. He lost his hat. That'll take him off the field for a play.
Once again, it's Ricky Encarnacion, the guy who can drag down Anthony Oquendo, but not before he picks up another 1st down.
Well, he is the free safety. He's the only defensive back in the middle of the field. And as you guys have mentioned, he's been called upon 3 or 4 times to save touchdowns.
8 carries, 94 yards here in the first half for Anthony Oquendo. And he is still out there, 1st and 10, Fitchburg at the Leominster 14. Oquendo lined up to the right of Broussard. He takes the carry to the left side, gets a block. Around the 10, looking to turn the corner to the 5. He lunges. He got pushed out of bounds. I don't think he's in. There's a flag down in the backfield. They're spotting Oquendo at about the 3. Call it the 4. And we will check the infraction.
This has holding written all over it.
It is in fact a hold against the Red Raiders. So they'll mark off 10 yards from the infraction, and they have placed the ball at the 17-yard line. So give Oquendo 2 the 7 on that one, and then mark the 10 there.
And after the penalty, the scoreboard and the chain gain are in disagreement. The scoreboard has it 2nd and 13. The chain gain says 1st. Oquendo up to an even 100 yards of offense here in the first half. Once again, motion now, play action fake. Broussard rolling to his right. Wants to keep it himself. One man to beat. He does not beat him. He is brought down after a gain of a couple by, guess who? Ricky Encarnacion. Mike, does Leominster have 11 guys on defense, or is it just 10 tackling dummies and Ricky Encarnacion?
Well, you got 10 guys up front trying to stop him, and then Encarnacion just comes in and makes the tackle.
Okay. I mean, on this play, it worked.
He tried to give him a little shake and bake move here, and he didn't buy that at all.
All respect in the world to Tyler Broussard, but if Anthony Oquendo can't get by Encarnacion, I don't think Broussard can either. Oquendo in the backfield to the left side, gets the carry, cuts back to his left. He gets past Encarnacion, and there's no one else who can beat him. Touchdown, Raiders!
From the start of that play, the only person who looked like they had a shot of stopping Oquendo was the umpire.
He wasn't interested.
Why should he be?
We'll take the cut back again here. Play starts right, back to his left, and found a big seam right in the middle of that Leominster defense.
As soon as he cut back to his left, he just had to turn on the jets and outrun Encarnacion. He did that. He got into the end zone untouched almost for the touchdown. Alexander McCloskey on to attempt the extra point. It is low and not particularly pretty, but it's through the uprights, and that's all that matters. 7:04 to play, second quarter. Fitchburg has their first points of the season. 7-0, they lead.
Not only that, it's the first time they scored against Leominster since 2017.
Well then.
After all, they got shut out in 2019, 7-0 at Crocker Field in 2018. The last time we were here on that Thanksgiving Eve when it was just frigid as all heck. They got shut out that night too.
Now, Mike, do you still remember the words to Mr. Touchdown? Do we need to
You don't
sing?
expect me to sing it, do you?
I will join if you do.
No.
Okay, fine.
We did get them one year to put the words on the screen with the bouncing red ball, like.
Maybe Jared can put something together for that.
Exactly. You can use my face for the ball. I'm fine with that.
Well, since the Fitchburg band's not here tonight, we're not going to.
Well, yeah.
The cheerleaders did it a cappella.
Maybe if we bribe the Leominster band, they'll play.
I don't think so.
No?
Nope.
It's like the NCAA. You've got the NIL, right?
Sure.
Just
Rain picks up a bit here.
all right.
The wind's still carrying.
Dead calm. Yeah.
Yep, less than 5 miles an hour expected. No super breezy night. And that's fortunate, I think. Better football game this way.
Kickoff taken in on the run at the 15-yard line by Brian Aguilar. He's out to about the 35-yard line before being swarmed by a gain of Raiders. Leominster offense will take the field once again. Caden Constant and company were able to move the ball pretty well, Mike, on their first possession, but they didn't lead to any points on the board.
Yeah, a couple times they moved the ball well, but haven't been able to cash it in. Fitchburg finally cashes in their opportunity and takes their first lead of the season.
As you said, Mike, the rain is picking up in intensity as the Blue Devils take the field. They go from the shotgun with a fullback to the left and a tailback. Handoff goes to that tailback. That's Newton. He busts it out to the right side, turns the corner. He's across the 45, pushed down almost to midfield. Credit Gio DiCarlo with the tackle.
I remember when we did that game against Hingham that it seemed like what Hingham liked to do was bring the running game out to the flanks, out to the sidelines, and Leominster trying similar ideas there.
Fitchburg run blitzed up the middle, and they were able to break containment, make up a big game.
It's a good play call. If they're blitzing up the middle, you go to the sideline. You got plenty of open run. Now first down and 10 from the Leominster 49. It's Newton again. Makai Newton brought down at about the 46-yard line. Meanwhile, you got a lot of pushing and shoving going on in the backfield. Looks like Jesse Ramos of Fitchburg and Tony Kendall of Leominster becoming intimately acquainted with themselves. You actually saw them there on the replay.
They were locked up in the middle of the ring in the back of the...
And they were going at it tooth and nail. It's about a 5-yard gain for Makai Newton. Second down and 5 for Leominster now at the Fitchburg 46. Still from the shotgun. Handoff goes to Newton straight up the middle. Plows his head forward for a couple of yards. Emmy Pastorino comes out on top of the pile.
Fitchburg bench looking for a flag. The split end on this side did a little two-step before the snap, and they didn't call it.
Newton gets 3 up the middle. He's now up to 9 carries for 39 yards in this contest.
Dan, what do you make of that Fitchburg font? I'm just noticing that for the first time on the Raiders jersey. It almost looks like something you'd see the Falcons wear, that kind of font, right?
I believe it's the same outfitter.
Well, there you go. That's the reason. Third down and a long 2 will become a long 7 after a false start on the Blue Devils. So that erases the second down gain and a couple more.
I believe it's on the same split end who was off camera to the left that they got for moving early.
Now it's time for the Fitchburg faithful to bust out the "you can't do that" chants.
Leominster 1 for 3 on 3rd down tonight.
Constant checks his armband. He's got 2 men behind him. Play fake, rolls to his left under pressure immediately. Cannot get away from Anthony Oquendo. A playmaker on both sides of the ball. Is the senior, I guess he's a senior defensive back now. He is everywhere for Fitchburg, including Caden Constant's nightmares.
Nice open field tackle. He looked like Constant was going to get to the outside, but Oquendo gets him by the ankles, brings him down for a huge loss, and it'll force a punt.
13 yards lost on that play, brings up by 4th and about 20.
First time tonight we'll see a punt for either side. Donovan DeLeon sets up at about his own 35 to receive the punt.
Looks like Ivan Kajoa is there to punt.
He gets blocked and then shoulder blocked. Emmy Pastorino plowed right into him as he was kicking that ball. I think it was Pastorino who made the block.
I think it was Ramos, Jesse Ramos. But
I apologize, it was Jesse Ramos.
Well, the snap was terrible. It took forever to get back there.
even if it was decent, I don't think he's got a clean kick there. Ramos just blowing through the line there.
Ramos actually left his feet. It looked like he was trying to get up and block the kick, but he got there a little bit beforehand, and he just plowed right into Kadoa. A huge swing in momentum sets the Raiders up at the Leominster 26-yard line. Handoff out of the I formation goes to Oquendo. He lost the football. Leominster's got it. Returned now by the Blue Devils. This is a 70-yard touchdown return. There's a flag as he crosses the goal line. A 70-yard touchdown return for Riley Costa. What in God's name just happened, Mike?
I don't know. I'm trying to see what the flag's going to be here, whether it cost them a touchdown or not.
There was nobody near him wearing white. There was barely anybody wearing blue.
The touchdown's going to stand. It's going to be unsportsmanlike against Leominster. I don't know, somebody was doing it too. It's a little celebrating on the way down. Yeah, the ball pops right out, right into his hands too. Very similar to the interception.
An absolutely perfect stroke of luck for Costa.
Oh, I see. He put up the number. He put up. Oh, that's such a ticky-tack call.
If this was college football, they wouldn't have given that touchdown either, because they call that a spot foul, but this is the NFHS rulebook that they use now.
I'm sorry, the penalty is because he rose his arm as he was crossing the...
Yeah, because he put up the number one finger.
Oh.
Not the middle finger, the number one finger.
I have opinions about that, and they're not positive.
I
mean, okay, look, we try to be impartial. We are, we're Fitchburg Access Television, and I'm wearing red and gray. That's a ridiculous penalty. That's a ridiculous penalty.
I'm not a huge fan of it myself.
A guy can't raise his hand in glory as he's crossing the goal line after a 70-yard fumble recovery touchdown.
They
That's
see
absurd.
They see it as a taunt.
It is a taunt. It's also cool.
St. Tiddlywinks.
And so they're actually they're going to enforce that on the conversion attempt. So this is going to be an 18-yard two-point conversion attempt.
I don't know what you have in the playbook for an 18-yard two-point conversion attempt, but it doesn't help when Jared Phillips breaks into the backfield and drags your quarterback down. Mike, Leominster has got to get some more support for their offensive line when they drop back in shotgun. Fitchburg has blown up 2 of these in a row now.
As soon as they go in a shotgun, you see the Fitchburg players step up in the gaps, and they're just coming. So they're going to have to hit a couple of quick passes to take that blitz away, or they're just going to keep blitzing right up the middle.
So that was all pretty interesting, wasn't it? 3:28 to go in the first half of play. Leominster 6, Fitchburg 7.
It's actually it's a big swing, Dan. You know, because of the penalty on the return, Leominster has to go for 2, and then it gets blown up. So even with Fitchburg being given this excellent field position and then coughing it up in the worst way possible, they still have the lead. I'm still just I thought there was like maybe somebody running behind him as he was crossing the line made a gesture or something, and that was the reason they threw the flag rather. But just for raising your hand like that, that's.
And I remember that controversy years ago when they took a touchdown off the board because of a similar thing in a playoff game back when we were using the NCAA rulebook. Nobody liked that.
Kickoff taken flat-footed at about the 12-yard line. This is DeLeon on the return. He's across the 30 before being steered out of bounds. So Fitchburg's offense will take over again with pretty decent field position. And Mike, that was the first time we really saw the elements come into play here. Oquendo wasn't able to maintain the grip on the football, and you know the fact that it's raining probably didn't help.
Well, like I said, trying to keep the balls dry. You know, this isn't the NFL where they have 48 footballs available during the game. They've probably got 1 or 2. And eventually, all the towels are wet, so that's not going to help either.
Yeah, no.
And then your uniform gets wet, so that just compounds the problem.
So we'll see how the Red Raiders respond. Their first place since the fumble, scoop, and score, except it wasn't really much of a scoop, was it?
Handoff goes to Oquendo on first down. He's dancing around tacklers. He's across the 35, across midfield, still on his feet before finally being pushed out of bounds. Another big gain for Anthony Oquendo.
Looks like they'll give him just to the Leominster side of the 49-yard line, but still a great run on first down.
And once again, Mike, you see him changing directions, finding the hole, following the blocks, and then making things happen. And once again, who's the guy who knocked him out of bounds?
0.
It was Ricky Encarnacion.
Well, the good news is he got out of bounds, so that stops the clock with 3:14. Fitchburg with 2 timeouts left. Remember, Leominster gets the ball to start the second half.
Anthony Oquendo has 11 carries. 1 of them ended in a touchdown. 1 of them ended in a fumble. I would not be surprised if the other 9 ended in him being tackled by Ricky Encarnacion. He stays in the backfield to the right of Broussard. Dudek on the left. DeLeon goes in motion, and we get a flag thrown from the backfield.
That would imply delay a game. That's
and
what
it
is
indeed. Fitchburg took a little too long to get things moving that time. They will be penalized 5 yards and told to go faster.
Well, the back judge gives the quarterback a signal when it's at 10. He raises his hand and then pulls it down with 5. So he's got to be looking.
And there was a game, of course, against Grafton in which there were about 7 delay games in that contest.
Until they actually make them spend some money and put some play clocks in high school places.
I formation for the Raiders on 1st and 15. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Bouncing out to the left side is Devani DeLeon. He's into Leominster territory across the 45. Brought down inbounds after a good gain.
Looks like they'll give the 43.
It's a good gain for DeLeon. You mentioned, Dan, that Fitchburg has benefited from having a multi-headed running game of Oquendo and someone else. You know, Devani DeLeon may be looking to step up and fill that second position. Second down handoff goes to DeLeon. He spins through, gets across the line of scrimmage, not much more than that. A whole gang of Blue Devils there to bring him down. Among them, Tony Palmariello and Mackay Newton. Mike, what's the name for a group of Devils?
It's like, how would you pluralize?
I didn't know there would be a quiz.
I don't know. You know, you've got a parliament of owls, a murder of crows. What's the thing of devils? A Satan of devils? Can we say a Satan of devils? Would I get in trouble for
I
that?
thought he was the head of the Devils.
I would get in trouble for that tomorrow, most certainly. All right, maybe we should talk about football now. 3rd down and 2. Handoff goes to DeLeon, running to his left. spins. Somebody lost a helmet there, but De Leon got the first down, and that's what matters.
There's Encarnacion for the second time today.
Man needs a tighter chin strap. He doesn't need much else because he's able to bring down Anthony Oquendo with regularity, but Ricky Encarnacion needs himself a tighter chin strap, I think.
This was an interesting play call as well. They have both De Leon and Medina in motion there. Give the handoff to De Leon. That gives him 3 straight carries. He's earned 20 yards on those 3 carries, up to 4 for 22 tonight.
Fake the jet sweep once again. Broussard looking to throw to his right, now does. Passes high and intercepted. Picked off and fumbled. Ball is loose. There's a scrub for it on the near sideline.
Got it. It's Broussard who got it.
Tyler Broussard recovers the fumble after the interception. A huge break for the Red Raiders.
Well, first the pass, so, I don't think he even sees the defensive back here because he basically throws it right in his hands as he gets flushed out to his right. Tried to loft it over him, but not enough arc on the ball. And then on the ensuing run back, the ball pops out. And he gets it back.
And the quarterback is right there to recover the fumble. Excellent presence of mind by Broussard.
It's 4th turnover, I believe, in the first half.
It was interesting. Those turnovers on both sides.
Backward swing pass to Dudek, picks up a couple yards on first down. Raiders immediately call their second time out of the half. As we get close to a minute to play here, the clock becomes a factor. Almost all of Fitchburg's offense has come on the ground with Anthony Oquendo, and that's all well and good unless you get under a minute to play in the half, at which point it becomes, well, you got to get something through the air. Now, as the teams were warming up, I did get a chance to watch Alexander McCloskey practicing his field goal kicking, just getting his footing, that sort of thing. He has the leg for maybe a 35-yard kick, if that. So the Raiders would need to get probably another 20 yards from where they are.
He'll have to hit it a bit better than that extra point.
Just a little bit, yeah. The extra point was not great.
You have to get the driver out because he used the wedge on the extra point.
Let's take a look one more time at this ridiculous play. Broussard rolls out to his right. The pass is wildly underthrown, intended for Donovan De Leon. And then the fumble pops out. Broussard is right there to make the recovery. That's the reason Fitchburg still has the ball, with a chance to expand their lead before we head to the locker rooms. And Leominster gets the ball to start the third quarter. 62 seconds to play here in quarter number 2. Broussard throws to his right. Pass is broken up. Incomplete. It was intended for De Leon. Broken up by Nico Martinez. Good hit by Martinez as the pass came in. And Mike, we really haven't seen Broussard deliver the ball with a lot of zip on it yet, have we?
No, this one was in that danger zone as they tried to run the quick slant. Broken up.
You know, you mentioned before they don't have too many spare footballs. The ball is just, you know, it's a little bit wet. It's a little bit, it's difficult to get it out there with that tight spiral, put any velocity on it. We've seen a couple of balls float on Broussard. He's actually been picked off twice already. Lucky to recover a fumble on number 2. Handoff goes to Oquendo. This time there's nothing there for him. Play is blown up in the backfield. Paul Mariello and Newton on the hit once again.
That's probably a Leominster timeout as they've going to force Fitchburg to punt the ball away here.
That would make sense. Leominster takes their last timeout, forces the Raiders to deal with 4th down and 10. They'll kick it away.
It's the first time that Oquendo gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was nothing there to him to the left. There was no space for him to cut back. Paul Mariello was actually able to come in from the defensive left side, come in behind that play, and wrap up Oquendo from behind.
Gave him no cutback lane. First time tonight, he's been killing him with the cutback.
So Oquendo now 12 carries, 135 yards, and yeah, I think that's probably the first time they've really stopped him. But that's, I think, a testament to the play that they called, just the timing and all that. and Leominster just blew it up.
First time today we've seen the punting unit for Fitchburg. It's Alexander McCloskey, same as the place kicker. It's a low bouncing snap. It goes through McCloskey's legs. He picks it up and he's trying to run with it. He's still on his feet before finally being dragged down close to midfield. A disaster on the punt. Sets Leominster up with excellent field position, Mike, inside Raider territory with 41 seconds to play.
Yeah, that snap was, never got back to him, kind of short hopped him. Had to go back and pick it up on the run.
And once McCloskey picked it up, I mean, he wasn't trying to find space to kick it. He was just trying to run with it and get what he could.
Took a pretty good pop from the first guy that got there, but he bounced right off it.
You almost want to see him just fall on the ball there, but he was able to pick up a few yards. Leominster back at their own 49-yard line with 41 seconds to play. Constant takes the shotgun snap, looking long to the left, and Carnacion has a step, but the pass is overthrown and incomplete. Closest Raider there was Josh Medina, and Carnacion had him beat, but Constant couldn't deliver the ball. It'll be second down.
Constant showed a pretty good arm there. He hung that one down the near sideline, but as you mentioned, Carnacion was just overthrown. Had his man beat.
That's the first time, Mike, that we've really seen Fitchburg, or rather Leominster, go deep at all in this game. And you're right, Constant showed off a pretty strong arm there.
Well, that time he had time to sit back in the pocket. Fitchburg didn't blitz that time.
That's another good part of it. We've really seen, Dan, there have been plenty of plays just blown up in the backfield almost whenever Leominster takes that shotgun snap. This time, as Mike said, there was no blitz. They were able to step up, get the pass off. It was just overthrown.
It was one of those passes that only Encarnacion could get to it. It was just, though, even with the speed that he's been able to show, he couldn't get there quickly enough.
So Fitchburg takes a timeout. They might want to adjust their defensive game plan. I don't know if they were ready for the arm strength of Caden Constant.
Well, you think they'll come out in the dreaded prevent defense.
I mean, with 35 seconds left to play, Leominster needs to get 49 yards for a touchdown. They probably need at least 30 to be in field goal range. The job for Fitchburg really is to just make the tackles inbounds if you can. Don't give up the big play. Now second down and 10 from the 49. Plenty of motion before the snap. It's the third or fourth time that near side split end, Jack Fish, has been either very close to or guilty of a false start. This time it cost the Blue Devils 5 yards. Number 5 loses 5 on the false start. It'll be second and 15 now from the Leominster 46. Constant takes the shotgun snap, under pressure, steps up, throws deep over the middle, pass is incomplete. Demonstrably asking for a flag is Miguel Cabrera. He's not going to get it.
I think he might have had a case. There might have been a little shirt tug there.
I thought I definitely saw an extended arm. I don't know if I saw the shirt tug, but that was close. Cabrera definitely wanted it. He felt like he was obstructed.
Yeah, let's see here. I don't know if we're going to catch this at the end of the play or not.
Constant does a good job stepping up under pressure, and then right down there, I don't know.
Hard to tell.
Gio DiCarlo was there, no doubt.
If he didn't chug his shirt, then he sold it really well.
And Cabrera was up immediately demanding a flag. He was almost beside himself that he didn't get it. Burns some more time off the clock, sets up third down as well. We'll take a look at it from another angle.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, okay. He has a case. We go back to live action now as Constant tries to get some yardage on the ground. He gets across the line of scrimmage, not much more. He's brought down inbounds. That'll set up fourth down. That might actually be the last play of the half. Leominster with no timeouts. They can't spike it. Are they even going to try to line up a Hail Mary here? It doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, not getting any progress on that one. That was Newton who tried to get to the far side there. Got a few yards, but nothing more than that. They'll just try to score on their first possession of the second half.
we will go to the locker rooms with the score 7-6 in favor of Fitchburg. And Mike, as we head to the break, this the score is 7-6, which indicates a tight, sloppy back and forth game. And this has been a tight, sloppy back and forth game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, you kind of expect that in the first game. As you mentioned, Fitchburg didn't have any scrimmages. All they had was their training camp, and that tends to be a little sloppy in the first game. But I think they'll be happy going to the locker room with a 7-6 lead, although they had the opportunity there after the first block punt to extend that lead, and they turned it over.
Yeah, Dan, obviously the big play, the 70-yard fumble recovery, the only points Leominster was able to put on the board.
Yep, and that was just, the one big mistake from Oquendo. Not really necessarily a mistake. He had the ball tucked in pretty well. It was just a matter of a lot of force to that area with a wet ball. Ball just goes on the ground. It's scooped up, brought all the way back for the touchdown, and just that point-costing point potentially.
Yeah. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, raising his hand in the air, pointing to the sky as he crossed the goal line. That mistake by Costa, we can have our opinions about it, but at the end of the day, the rules are the rules, and you've got to know that you can't do that. Costa's mistake there cost his team an extra point, cost him a chance to tie this game. We will go to the halftime locker rooms with the score 7-6. We will take a break ourselves and be back with you in just a moment. Thank you so much for being here. It's the 139th installment of the rivalry, Fitchburg versus Leominster, and it's right here on FATV. We are back here at Doyle Field in Leominster for the 139th installment of the rivalry, Fitchburg versus Leominster, here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined, of course, by Mike Flynn and Dan Bolak. Before we take a look at the halftime stats and get ready for the second half of action, we want to thank once again the underwriters who make this and every FATV remote production possible. FATV's remote productions are underwritten by Workers Credit Union, Rollstone Bank and Trust, the UMass Memorial Health Alliance Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, Unitil, Minuteman Press, and the Sentinel and Enterprise. So, Mike, as we get ready to start the second half here, Leominster is going to be receiving the kickoff after they won the opening coin toss and chose to defer. And I think the key for them, as they get the ball back offensively, they need to throw the ball downfield a little bit more, try to open up this Fitchburg defense.
Well, I'm sure that both teams will try to make adjustments, but Leominster's had trouble, especially in obvious passing situations, keeping the Fitchburg blitz off the top of their quarterback. So they're going to have to find either a new blocking scheme or maybe roll him out some more to get him out of the pocket. And Fitchburg stopped turning the ball over. That killed him in the first half.
The only points Leominster have came as a direct result of a turnover. The fumble recovery out of the hands of Anthony Oquendo into the arms of Riley Costa. 70 yards later, he was across the goal line for 6 points. Those are the only 6 points Leominster has. Dan, as we take a look at the stats real quick, neither team really has been able to move the ball through the air with any real success.
Not at all. Caden Constant 2 for 4. I've got him for 34 yards. Tyler Broussard with just a couple receptions there. But he's also got 2 interceptions, which has been a bit of a challenge, one of which he redeemed himself.
He's thrown 4 passes, and they've all been caught. It's just that 2 of them have been caught by the other team.
Yeah, it's not been to his credit. For Leominster, 60 yards of offense. For Fitchburg, I've got him at 168. Most of those coming by way of Anthony Oquendo. 12 carries for 135 yards, a touchdown, but also the fumble as well. Regardless, Oquendo has been, we've known that he's going to be the lead running back for the Red Raiders. He wears that number 1 with pride and distinction, and he's making it obvious to everyone why.
It's a change for Anthony Oquendo. New uniforms for the Red Raiders, a new uniform number for him. Used to be number 7, he is now number 1. Anthony Oquendo has been the number 1 man for the Fitchburg offense. And real quick, folks, we want to let you know that there is so much to watch here on your community access station. You can check out quality FATV programs like Barbara and You, Inside Fitchburg, Chess Chat, Forks Over Fitchburg, Discussing Fitchburg Now, so many more. FATV also covers a bunch of local events, including the Memorial Day ceremony, Civic Days, graduations, obviously local high school and collegiate sports. We'll be telling you a little bit more about our kickoff trifecta in a few minutes. You can also, of course, watch local local government meetings and some of the best local election coverage all around. You can visit fatv.org for schedules. There's access to video on demand on your time, and you can view our live streams. We want to let you know that in addition to the 2 more football games we have this weekend, we will also be broadcasting the 4th Recruit Officer Course graduation ceremony live from Fitchburg State's Weston Auditorium. Coverage of that begins tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. right here on FATV's education channel. If you're watching us on TV, just, turn off the TV, go to bed, turn it back on in the morning. Don't change your channel. You'll be fine. If you want to watch online, just go to fatv.org and look for the education stream. As we get set for the kickoff here to begin the 3rd quarter of play, it'll be Alexander McCloskey kicking off. Fitchburg in the white and white with the, we decided those are pewter helmets, right, Mike?
Sure. I like very similar to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
A little bit, yeah, I can see that.
A little darker, but...
Yeah, the Raiders kind of look like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Blue Devils look a lot like the Indianapolis Colts, I think.
All you need is the horseshoe.
McCloskey will be kicking off right to left. Set back deep to return for Leominster is Miguel Cabrera, fresh off his milestone home run. It's a short kick taken by one of the up men on the bounce, picked up there by Brian Aguilar across the 15 to the 20. Tries to cut back to the near side, doesn't get much. He's brought down at about the 23-yard line by, let's give credit to Janiel Silvestri, number 44, why not?
Well, the Leominster returners did Fitchburg a favor there by letting that ball hit the ground and allowed the Fitchburg special teams to come down and make the tackle and make them start at their own 25.
Leominster will have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. As you said, Caden Constant, their senior quarterback, will come out. You see him there, number 9, going from the shotgun. He's got Makai Newton in the backfield with him. Newton 9 carries, 38 yards in the first half. Constant rolls to his right, wants to keep it himself, and he is brought down in the backfield by Anthony Oquendo. Mike, that was a very interesting decision by Caden Constant, correct?
I think he got flushed from behind, and you watch Oquendo, he just sits down and just waits there, waiting for Constant to come around the corner and just right there to meet him for the easy tackle and the loss.
I don't know if that was a designed quarterback run from the beginning or if Constant just decided very quickly that he had nothing available downfield and wanted to take it himself. Either way, it doesn't go the way the Blue Devils want. It's a loss of 4. It'll bring up 2nd down and 14. Handoff to Newton going to the left side. And he is brought down maybe by the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, if that. I think they're actually going to back him up for another yard or 2 loss, Dan.
Looks like the 19-yard line. So that's a loss of another 2 yards.
Danny Bullock with the binoculars coming in handy as they are on the far left corner from our press box here on the visitor side of Doyle Field. It will indeed be 3rd down and 16 as we are just underway here in the 3rd quarter of action from historic Doyle Field. Doyle Field's historic, right?
Just ask Mr. Tucker, the PA guy. He'll tell you.
Okay. Constant finally has some time to throw. He lost the football, however, and he falls on it in the backfield. There was only one guy coming for Fitchburg. That was Emmanuel Jellin. Jellin knocked the ball loose. Mike, take a look at the replay here.
Beats his man. Now he's got a shot at the quarterback. That just came out by himself. He didn't even touch him.
No, Jellin didn't even do anything. His presence,
he scared the ball loose.
He gives off an aura.
I'd have got rid of the ball if he came running at me.
Hey, maybe he's like he's a Dungeons and Dragon monster. He has an aura 1, and if you're in the aura, you're 50% likelier to drop the football. Now a high snap
really
and low punt. Diving attempt at the ball. The ball is loose. Donovan DeLeon tried to catch that one and did ultimately fall on it. Fitchburg will be set up with excellent field position once again. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the Leominster 35-yard line.
And of course, it's worth noting that's the first successful punt we've had tonight.
And it was only just successful. We've seen a blocked punt. We saw a high snap there, just barely able to get the kick away.
That was almost blocked again, and then not a good decision here to try to come up and make that catch. And Fitchburg's lucky to hold on to the ball.
In a situation like that, the best thing to do is to just get away from the football, right?
Don't take any chances with the muffs.
Oquendo, the carry on first down, cuts along the near side, tries to turn the corner. He's across the 20 before being steered out of bounds by, would you believe it, it's not Ricky Encarnacion, it's Jared Viola given credit for the tackle. My God, Dan, someone other than Encarnacion has finally managed to tackle Anthony Oquendo.
It's a miracle. Somebody else on the defense stepping up, the junior safety. But it's got to be the safeties. It's like Encarnacion also playing that position. It's got to be those guys making the stops there. The corner's just getting straight beat on the sides.
Yeah, I think the Leominster coaching staff really concerned that, all, as you mentioned, the defensive backs are making all the tackles.
First down once again. It's Oquendo to the left side. This time there's not much there. This play successfully blown up in the backfield. Ivan Kadoa, the punter, also making the tackle there. High school kids, they play all sorts of positions.
Looks like he got about 2 yards on that one, though.
Well, neither team has an abundance of extra players on the sidelines. So a lot of guys playing both ways.
Fitchburg with 46 players on the varsity roster. Leominster with 44. Oquendo the carry on second down, this time up the middle. He's across the 10. He's got first down. Finally brought down at about the 5. It'll be first and goal for the Raiders.
Cannonball dive there for Oquendo, blasting through the middle of the line. Gets himself about 10, and now deep into Leominster territory. He's looking for a second touchdown on the night.
Oquendo already has one, as you said. He will stay on the field as he looks for his second. He shares the backfield with Jared Phillips. But it is Oquendo the carry on first down, bounces to his left, now cuts right up the middle. He's close, but they're going to mark him down at the 1 yard line. The ball came loose, and I think Leominster fell on it, but he was definitely down by contact before it came loose. The officials didn't even throw their little fumble sack. They knew it was. They knew he was down. Is there a term for that? That little blue thing that they throw when there's a fumble?
We call it a beanbag.
Beanbag. There you go. That sounds slightly more professional than a fumble sack.
And a great view there of the ball coming out at the very end. It's coming out because his hand is slamming on the ground as he's trying to put it across the goal line.
That was really close. If this was the NFL, that might be a challenge.
Second down and goal. Ball spotted just inside the 1 yard line. Oquendo the carry to his right this time. Very close, and he is in. Touchdown Raiders. Anthony Oquendo, his second of the game from a yard out. Leominster's defensive line, Dan, did as much as they could on that play, but I mean, if it's goal to go on the 1 and Anthony Oquendo has the ball, there's only so much you can do.
Just overpowered, it so seems, but Oquendo, he's been a running back for this Red Raider squad for 4 years. All that experience and all those abilities that he shows.
Klosky on to attempt the extra point. His first was hardly a thing of beauty, but it was good. Now kicking right to left, and we get some flags.
Another false start.
False start on the Raiders will back him up 5 yards.
That will not fall in the good false start category.
No. We did see one of those
We
earlier.
did have one.
But making your extra point attempt that much more difficult, no, that's not a good false start.
I know that McCloskey has hit from farther than 20 yards back on an extra point before. He did that in the Oakmont game in the Fall 2 season. So it is doable, but with the... So 25 yards out on the straight shot, looking to make it 14-6.
McCloskey will be kicking out of a hold from Santana. Ball is down, the kick is up. It is good. So with 7:34 to play here in quarter number 3, Fitchburg extends their lead 14-6. The Raiders lead the Blue Devils by 8. Mike, that was a masterful drive given the short field by Fitchburg.
Did a nice job of taking advantage of the good defensive stop there by the defense, getting them good field position and then right down the field to extend the lead to 8. It's your time to shine, John. Time to sing Mr. Touchdown.
I will do it if you do it
Oh,
with me.
no,
Those are the rules.
no. There is only, and I don't know if the tape still exists, of me singing into a microphone. No, you're gonna have to go to the archives of WEIM upstairs.
Okay. You know Danny works for PKZ now.
I don't know can you even go upstairs?
I don't even know how to get upstairs.
There are stairs.
They're somewhere. They're hidden in the building.
It's
I
a
can't
small
find
building.
them.
I've
You're
been
coming
there.
the front door and right straight ahead to the left.
I
the
interviewed
staircase.
for a job there and didn't get anything. It's a small building. It's tiny. McCloskey will kick away to Leominster as they get ready to receive the ball once again. Still a one-score game as the Blue Devils try to hang on here. First kickoff was pretty short, and you see Leominster has brought their return man a little bit further upfield. Taken in on the run by Miguel Cabrera. Gets across the 25, and he's brought down at about the 30. Big pile of players, good 10 yards away from the play. And now Cabrera's a little slow to get up, but he looks to be okay.
A little gimpy. Going to try to stay in the game.
Caden Constant will bring the Leominster offense back onto the field. You see there Cabrera heading to the sidelines.
One of the coaches or training staff came out and gave him the hook.
Just a little shaken up. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he can get back into this one. Hopefully just needs, a few minutes to catch his breath, maybe get some ice on something, and he'll be back out there. We'll keep an eye on him. But it will be 1st and 10, Leominster from their own 28-yard line. Constant from the shotgun, barking signals. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Fitchburg coming right up there on the blitz. Good job getting away from the initial hit and picking up a couple of yards. But Mike, Fitchburg is all about this. They are coming, aren't they?
They're forcing the Leominster offense to react, and almost got him in the backfield again. Did get maybe a yard.
It will be nice and give them 1 yard. But yeah, 2nd and 9.
Constant takes the snap, play fake right. It's an option. He keeps it himself. Cuts it upfield. Good yardage for Caden Constant. 7-8 yards. Looks like he's going to be just shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and very short. Probably less than a yard. We've seen Leominster have a little bit of success, Mike, with that option play. They ran it again here.
Looked like Fitchburg had it pretty well defensed, but they let Constant cut back.
Yeah, that juke that he made there, able to get out of the reach of Colin Dudek and Angel Alejandro, able to turn that into an 8-yard gain, and it'll bring up 3rd and a manageable 1 yard.
Yeah, Dudek just kind of lowered his left shoulder, put his weight on his left foot, committed a little bit early to defending the pitch, and he let Constant keep the ball himself. Now on 3rd down, it's a handoff straight up the middle to Makai Newton, and he is going straight backward.
Well, on that play, with 3rd and short, I would have thought, Newton was the guy to get a 1st down there for the Blue Devils, and he gets wrapped up immediately there. And we can see Juan Cyprian getting in on that one for the Red Raiders.
He beat his blocker at the line of scrimmage and blew that play up for a loss of 3.
There's nothing you can do as a ball carrier when as soon as you have the ball, there are 2 guys in white shirts looking to bring you down. Leominster will have to kick it away again. Their last punt was an adventure. This one will be backed up 5 yards as everybody got a little bit jumpy before the snap. I think the long snapper kind of... No, actually, this is against Fitchburg.
That's going to be enough for a 1st, I think.
Wow. I thought there was like a double clutch on the snap. Leominster might have jumped, but no, Fitchburg called for the offside. Mike, that's a huge penalty.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do on that situation is jump offside and give them a free 1st down. You're going to force them to kick again after another 3 and out. Big mistake by the Fitchburg special teams.
See here.
Oh yeah, they're offside. 61.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramos jumped.
I did see Leominster jump, but they were drawn off. Jesse Ramos came across the line, gives the Blue Devils a fresh set of downs. Constant back to pass, decent protection, now breaks down, he's rolling to his right, trying to make something, breaks out of one tackle, slams through another before being dragged down at about the 46-yard line. Give the Leominster QB a gain of 5.
And I believe under the Federation rules, once you go offside, you can't get back. It's an automatic whistle.
No, once you go, that's it. So it doesn't matter if Leominster jumped.
Another stupid one.
That one makes more sense, maybe.
It's one of those player safety things.
Hey, it's football. We need to make football safe.
I don't think anybody likes the Federation. Well, we played under NCAA rules for so long.
Yeah, lawyers got in the way.
So what? The rest of the country wasn't using NCAA.
Second down and 5 for Leominster. Handoff goes to Newton. This time he breaks out of tackles, and he's into the open field, and he is gone. 15, 10, 5. Ball is loose as he crosses the goal line. It goes out the back of the end zone for a touchback. What an incredible play by Richard Santana, chasing the ball carrier down from behind. Richard Santana came from across the field. I thought he was gone. I thought there was no way anyone was going to bring down Mekhi Newton. Let's take a look at this one again.
Right off the left side, breaks containment. Now he's off to the races.
Look at Santana, comes back from across the field, punches the ball out from behind. And then it finally rolls out the back of the end zone before Fitchburg can fall on it. It is a touchback. I believe Fitchburg will take over at the 20.
I think that's the case as well. There is also a Red Raider down in between the 45 and 50.
Back toward closer to the original line of scrimmage. Finally slowly getting up. That is Anthony Oquendo.
That's the one person you don't want to see. Well, the good thing is he's putting weight on it as he comes off the field.
Scary times for the Red Raiders, both offensively and defensively, as Anthony Oquendo hobbles off the field and he will be attended to. Mike, you cannot say enough good things about the hustle of Richard Santana to catch up with that play from behind, and then the smarts to not just try to tackle the ball carrier, but to actually swing his arm up and punch that ball out.
It was really his own play because the tackle, the momentum would have carried him into the end zone. And oftentimes you'll see that in college or the pros. You'll see the ball carrier looking up at the big screen to see if anybody's chasing him. But not, of course, in high school we don't have that. So.
No, you've just got that nice big house across the street.
Yeah. And also have a really big screen watching our broadcast. That's not going to happen.
Some of the Fitchburg coaching staff here, actually in the press box, they were watching our replay. They were hooting and hollering, just giving Santana all the credit he deserves. An incredible defensive play.
Mike Flynn was just talking about James McCall making that play in 1993. That was just like that.
Without the poke, he made a tackle from behind.
Yeah. It's still the same thing.
Same thing, he chased Rackasack down from behind.
Handoff goes straight up the middle. I believe that's Devani DeLeon. Sean, just tap me on the shoulder. I'll lean in a little closer so you can get near the microphone.
You can hear me. You can hear me in Fitchburg.
He doesn't need a microphone.
It is, in fact, Devani DeLeon who got that first down carry for a gain of a couple.
Yep. We mentioned earlier that DeLeon may be settling in as that number 2 running back, but if Oquendo is badly hurt, then he's going to need to step up and be that number 1.
You know, Dan, I was just going to throw to you and ask you to say that exact thing, so it's good to know that our chemistry is still good. Now on second down, this is Colin Dudek, the ball carrier. He plunges forward across the 30 to about the 34, and there is another Red Raider down. Deep in the backfield looks like Elijah Marquez. No, excuse me. My apologies, that's Elijah Jellin.
But Marquez was limping off the field as well.
He limped off too, yeah.
So the Raiders actually lose 2 players on that play.
Alan Tubley has suddenly become very busy. Raiders got 12 on that last run from Dudek and a fresh set of downs. But obviously other things in their mind right now, but they'll try to persevere best they can.
Suddenly the Fitchburg sideline becoming busy. Anthony Oquendo still being looked at. A couple more players go down on this play, but it's a really good run by Dudek after some great blocking by the Fitchburg O-line, Mike.
Sprung him a pretty big hole. Got him an all-important first down.
Now from the eye on first down, DeLeon again. He's dragged down in the backfield before he can get too much. Mackay Newton, the tackle for Leominster. Mark him down at about maybe the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 2.
For my count, DeLeon 6 carries for 26 yards in this contest. Oquendo had 17 for 170.
I was watching him work on Oquendo on the sideline. It doesn't seem to be a knee. It seems to be more of his calf.
From the shotgun on second down, handoff to Dudek running the sweep to the left. Gets some decent blocking, but the hole never really opens up. Got back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a couple more. I think they'll spot him at the 39-yard line when all is said and done.
That does get him 3 yards on that one.
See here, they try this, slow developing run off the left tackle, and nothing really opens up. This time, well defensed by Leominster.
We saw a similar play to that blown up in the backfield earlier in this contest. It was one of Anthony Oquendo's only real unsuccessful runs.
Will be third down and a long 5 for the Raiders. The 4th time they've attempted a third down conversion on the day.
Got them 1 for 3 tonight.
Darnell Thomas goes in motion, and he gets the carry, and he is brought down about a yard shy, maybe 2 yards shy. Nice little creative play there by Fitchburg. Didn't work out. And an interesting decision. I think they're going to send out the punt team.
Yeah, I think so. Looked like if he cut it back up inside here at the end of the run, he would have gotten the first down, but he went to the outside instead.
Needed the 44. They ultimately spotted him at the 42-yard line. And with 4th and 2, flag just popped out.
Flag comes out well after the play, or before the play if you prefer.
I think it's a sideline warning.
Yeah, just trying to push.
Is there a warning in the Fed?
I believe so. That will get your attention.
So it is still 4th down. Fitchburg still lined up to kick it away as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter of action here at Doyle Field. Low snap. And whistles kill the play beforehand.
They're going to say his knee was down when he picked up the ball, which...
That is not true. That is a false statement. Why would they say that?
So...
That's not... That didn't happen, though.
I didn't think it did either, but they, I believe, are saying his knee was... Let's have a look.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No. His knee never came close to hitting the ground.
But there's a good 6 inches of space there.
Yep.
So the ruling on the field is that right there, McCloskey's knee is down.
Now, if you look at his ankle, that's a body part down.
Now that right side...
Is his ankle down? That's a good question.
Yep. And honestly, we can't see his right leg very well from there either.
And neither can Bill Goslin either, because he's at a terrible angle if that's what he made the call. His knee never hits.
Maybe his left ankle is down. Yeah. Maybe. Well, I will grant that possibility. Maybe the left ankle is down. The right ankle was not down. The left knee was not down.
That would have been the perfect point for the telestrator.
Yeah, it would have been. One day, Mike. We'll get it.
One day.
We'll get it. Hey, we got a new audio board in. It's a nice
It's not
board.
going to make me sound any better.
Hey, every little bit helps. Talk to the new production. What's your title?
I'm production assistant.
Production assistant, yeah.
Yep, and it's funny. It's like one thing that I'd like to point out is when Newton fumbled that ball out of the end zone, the scoreboard got so excited they gave everybody timeouts. I think they have it corrected now, but that was a timeout for Fitchburg.
I think so.
Everybody gets it.
But now, Leominster this is a great opportunity for them. 30 yards from goal.
It really is. So after the punter was ruled down before he could get the kick away, Leominster takes over 1st and 10 at the Fitchburg 30, still with 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Constant takes the snap, hands off straight up the middle to Nico Martinez, and he runs into a big old white wall named Sam Faulkner, and he is brought down.
Jesse Ramos there as well. No gain there for Martinez, who I have him as 4 carries for -3.
That's not good.
61's been in on a ton of plays tonight for the Red Raiders.
Time winding down here in the third quarter. Does Leominster want to get off one more? No, they do not. No, in fact, they do not. That takes us to the end of the third quarter of play. The score, Fitchburg 14, Leominster 6. And Dan, Leominster just hasn't been able to get anything going offensively really all day.
They've had a little more success lately, but I've got them 114 yards of offense, and compared to Fitchburg's 213. And Caden Constant's been doing some things on the ground, and of course, a lot of those yards came from that run from Mackay Newton, who got a lot of yards before he lost it a yard away from the end zone.
An awful lot of yardage, but then just punched out from behind. Again, the incredible defensive play by Richard Santana. Hey folks, we want to let you know that Fitchburg Access Television is your local access TV station. If you live, work, go to school, or are a member of a Fitchburg organization, you can become a member of FATV. Membership brings many benefits and gives you access to all of FATV's equipment, including cameras, audio and lighting equipment, edit suites, studios, and much more, including our newest edition, the FATV Podcast Suite. They offer technical training classes to teach you how to create your own program. You can reserve channel time to broadcast your program to the Fitchburg community and beyond. Visit fatv.org for more details and to start producing your own show today. And now here with the call for the fourth quarter is Mr. Dan Bolak.
Thank you, John. As play action, Constant throwing over the middle, caught by Encarnacion, and a touchdown! Just like that!
Mike, we talked about how Leominster needed to open up the Fitchburg defense. They finally do it on the first play of the fourth quarter.
Well, Encarnacion right down the seam in the middle of the field, and nobody was with him, and Constant just laid it right in there. A blown coverage, obviously.
They had to have bitten on the play fake. Either they bit on the play fake or just nobody was covering. Ricky Encarnacion was wide open. I mean, there was nobody between the hash marks even.
No, you saw the safety come over late, but not in time.
Now, Caden Constant is having a little bit of trouble getting up to his feet. He's being tended to. And this comes right before Leominster attempts a very important, I would have to assume they're going to go for a 2-point conversion here, try to tie this game.
I can't imagine you would try to kick an extra point when you're in the fourth quarter. And Constant, he's down at the 10-yard line. That play was from the 30, so he's come downfield a bit, and then
it is a rather humid night, and you would think that cramping might start here later in the game.
And you see there, Anthony Oquendo looks to be warming up on the near side, maybe testing out that left calf. I believe that black wrap is new, right? That's newly added for Oquendo. That wasn't there at the start of the game.
He had one of his legs wrapped up as he was coming off the field. I remember that.
He tried to run a couple of sprints there, and it didn't look
terribly.
Didn't look optimistic as he pulled up.
Yeah, it looked like he was maybe testing it out and didn't like what he felt. Now he's getting
still trying to stretch it out.
More attention on the near side. A couple more players.
Well, they have to carry they had to basically carry Constant to the sideline.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's putting no weight on those legs.
He's got a serious cramp.
That cannot feel good either for Caden Constant or for the Leominster offense. They will now come out for a 2-point conversion with.
Looks like Jacob Tossie at quarterback.
Jake Tossie, number 12, the backup quarterback. He has Nico Martinez to his right as they go from the shotgun.
Roll out to the right, looking, throws over the middle, tipped up in the air, intercepted. It'll be no points for the Blue Devils on the conversion. It stays 14-12.
second failed attempt on a 2-point conversion of the game for Leominster. The first obviously came after the personal foul that backed them up to make it an 18-yard attempt. This time from the 3, they're still unable to succeed.
I don't think he had much options there. I think he just ended up throwing it and hoping it hit a blue jersey.
He was trying to find Encarnacion. I don't know if Encarnacion was looking for the ball, though. Ball kind of hit Ricky right on the right shoulder and then popped up before being picked off.
Well, that can't be easy, standing around for 3 quarters and then, oh, get in there and get us 2 points, will you?
Yeah. No pressure. It's just,
Yep.
It's Fitchburg.
It'll tie it.
It's the first game at Doyle Field in front of fans in 2 years. It's Fitchburg. Did I mention that it's Fitchburg? And also you need a 2-point conversion to tie the game. No pressure.
This has been an adventure of a game, hasn't it? We've seen so many crazy things.
They're making up for lost time, aren't they?
We've had a fumble recovered and brought for a touchdown. We had an interception immediately followed by a fumble. And we had a long run for a short touchdown lost by a fumble.
And there's still a quarter to play.
And these two rivals meet. Fireworks in the air. On the kickoff, it'll be taken by DeLeon around the 20-yard line, making his way out to the far side. And he's wrestled to the ground in between the 25 and 30. So now we see what the Raiders can do. We can see that Oquendo is not out on the field at this moment. Doesn't surprise me too much.
No, especially playing, with the lead in the first game of the season, there's no need to test it. And with the way Anthony Oquendo is moving around, I don't even know if he would be out there if they were losing this game.
He's not ready.
As painful as it may be for Raider fans, it's for the best that Oquendo be on the sideline at the moment as Dudek takes this on first down up the middle, trying to make his way to the right hash. And he's past the 35-yard line. Gain of about 8 on first down.
Nico Martinez a little slow getting up for Leominster, and he's actually going to... It looked like he was going to hobble off, but it looks like he's going to hobble back to his defensive position. He's looking off to the sideline, but it looks like he's going to stay in.
He gets whacked pretty good here on the tackle.
You'll see Martinez come in, number 15. Looks like he's trying to strip the ball out right there. Then he kind of gets sandwiched between his own teammates and the ball carrier, Dudek. Comes up grabbing at that right leg, but he's still on the field.
And here's DeLeon trying to take the carry. Gets to about the 37, then pushed back forward. Progress might actually be enough for a first. They'll give him the 39.
And that tackle was made by Nico Martinez.
A little bit of a seam to get him a couple of yards forward and pick up the first down. Gives Fitchburg a fresh set of downs and keeps the clock running.
10:45 to go, fourth quarter. Fitchburg leads 14-12. Once again with the pistol and 2 backs. Handoff comes to Dudek, right side. But there's Makai Newton there to wrap him up and send him to the turf.
Tried to turn the corner, but Newton had the edge, and then he delivered the spear.
Nothing really there for Dudek. Pick the legs up, drive him to the ground.
Pretty much exactly the way you're trained to tackle, right?
Yeah.
Near enough. It'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders. And it'll be a quick throw to the left side. That's going to be complete to Caputi. He'll get past the 40-yard line. But to about the 42.
I played on possibly one of the worst football teams of all time. My freshman year at St. Bernard's, we got shut out. We didn't score a point the entire year in 8 games. We had 4 first downs.
Oof.
Jeff O'Neill, coach of few teams around here, Leominster High basketball, and other was my coach.
I remember him up at Oakmont.
Yes, good guy. Every time I see him, I remind him of that squad.
And now, that is Oquendo in the game now, isn't it? He's at midfield.
That is indeed Anthony Oquendo getting the third down carry, picking up the first down. You can see him, he's not 100%, but he is back out there.
He's still got a gimp and a giddy up, but
he needed 6, he got 7, and that's the guy
he has
to
a
do
gimp in his giddy up?
his giddy up.
Okay.
He's got a hitch. He's got a hitch in his giddy up.
There you go.
That was the Raiders' second conversion on third down tonight, 2 for 5 overall. And I had no idea Oquendo was taking the snap, was going to take that handoff until I saw him in my binoculars running upfield. And boy, just a different gear he has. As he goes out in motion to the right side and fakes the throw as it's to Dudek, who moves his way, motors for about 6 on the left side.
That time, Mike, they used Oquendo almost as a decoy.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. They motioned him out to the right and gave the ball to Dudek back to the other side.
I'm really surprised to see Anthony Oquendo out on the field right now. He is clearly not moving at full speed. But, you know, Leominster, even if Oquendo isn't at 100%, they have to respect the threat that he poses. And in that case, they were able to use that threat to create the handoff to Dudek and create a pretty good gain, 6 yards on first down.
Yep, the one time they gave him the ball, he was able to advance it pretty well. So you have to respect him being in there.
2nd and 4, Oquendo around the right side. He's going to have the first down and holds the ball tightly as he's tackled to the ground by Encarnacion around the 37-yard line. Another first down for the Red Raiders.
This is the last thing the Leominster coaching staff wanted to see was Fitchburg get on a roll here in a long drive, starting to chew up a significant part of that fourth quarter clock.
Even if Anthony Oquendo is at, 80%, 80% of Anthony Oquendo is a much more explosive threat out of the backfield than 100% of anything else Fitchburg has been able to generate tonight. As the rain picks up, we approach 7 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Fitchburg holding on to a 2-point lead.
Out of that pistol formation, low snap. Broussard able to pick it up, give it to Oquendo going up the middle, and able to salvage about 6 yards out of that. That looked like that could have been potentially disastrous.
Yeah, it looked like that might be another time they put the ball on the ground and a low snap in the shotgun. But able to get the handoff to Oquendo, breaks the tackle in the backfield, and even with the injury, still able to get 6 yards.
Logan Arce was right there after the little miscommunication. The low snap kind of delayed the start of that play. Looked like Arce was going to blow it up in the backfield, but Oquendo was able to get away from him, pick up another good gain. I believe he's back to the sideline now.
Yes, he is. Yep.
And here is the younger De Leon trying to get to that far side flank, keeping his feet churning with the ball formed and pushing forward to around the 26-yard line. That'll be good enough. Another first.
This is exactly what you want to see if you're Fitchburg right now. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep picking up these first downs, keep the clock moving. If you can get points on the board here, even a field goal would be huge. But keep this clock moving, pin Leominster deep if you don't score. Fitchburg has a chance to put this game away right now.
As the rain continues to fall at historic Doyle Field halfway through the fourth quarter, Red Raiders lead 14-12. And here is Oquendo blowing through the middle to the right side, tied up on the right hash marks, but inside the 20-yard line. Another great spotted at, looks like the 18-yard line.
Now I believe Fitchburg has taken a timeout. No, they're going to indicate timeout in Leominster.
Yeah.
The initial indication was timeout Fitchburg.
I was just going to say that we have to wait and see when Leominster starts to use their timeouts. They're trying to save some time here in the rest of the game, but they take one here, leaving them with 2.
Each team has 2 timeouts left, and scoreboard operator went and pressed the wrong button a few times on the scoreboard. You see, whenever you hit the quarter up button, it resets the timeouts if you go after a even number after the second, after the fourth. And because by default it's set to 5 timeouts because it still has the old rule set programmed in there.
Okay.
That's why you see the timeouts coming off the end of your screen there.
Right. Okay. So what we're trying to say is that both teams actually have 2 timeouts remaining.
Correct.
And they're working on it, and we will fix it. And I want to make mention, thanks to Sean Sweeney of the Sentinel and Enterprise for pointing this out, Anthony Oquendo on the evening, 21 carries, 200 yards on the dot. Unofficially, according to him. You might have him at 202.
I have him at 198.
Okay.
But no, like I said, if I'm within 5 yards, and I'll take his word, it's going in the paper. Mine ain't.
The point is, it has been an incredible night for Oquendo. Fitchburg looking to seal a big victory over Leominster here at Doyle Field.
And it'll be Oquendo taking this one. The hole not quite opening up there. And the Blue Devils coming and wrapping him up. Looked like Jack Fish and Ivan Kadoa there.
Not quite enough for a first down. This brings up a very big 3rd down and less than a yard. You know what we haven't seen, Mike? We have not seen a quarterback sneak all night.
No, we have not. Well, both quarterbacks have been in the shotgun the whole game. So
that's true.
Broussard has 1 carry for a yard from my count.
This feels like a really good time for the quarterback to, line up in shotgun, move under center, and then take that snap, try to pick it up.
They'll give it to Oquendo. Hugs the ball with both arms as he moves his way up the middle and gets more than a yard.
As much as I liked my play call, I can't see any fault with hand the ball to Anthony Oquendo.
I'm giving it to 1.
Yeah, put him behind the Fitchburg offensive line.
Gimpy leg or not, I'm giving it to 1.
Nothing fancy about this one, just run right behind big number 73 on that offensive line, Sam Faulkner. An anchor on the defensive line, a lead blocker on the offensive line.
And they bill him at 6'3", 325, I believe. As now, Broussard's going to go under center in the I formation as Oquendo breaks out a couple of tackles and makes his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders!
Anthony Oquendo picks up his 3rd touchdown of the game. There is a Blue Devil down. Finally getting back up to his feet is Tony Palmariello. Anthony Oquendo over 200 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. Mike, it's been a vintage night for this man.
So I'm just, kind of just taking his time. And when he found the hole, he exploded through it. And now a big extra point here for the Red Raiders because the extra point here would make it a 2-score game.
McCloskey is 2 for 2 on the day.
He's hit from 20 and 25 on the extra points. The 25 looked better than the 20. And Fitchburg will call timeout.
They had some...
They had a guy dancing around, and I don't think he knew where to line up.
Yeah, Joshua Medina was... I thought for a second that they were going to send him in motion and try to fake something, but no, you were right, Mike. He just didn't know where to line up. We'll take a look at the touchdown run by Oquendo one more time.
Watch him just hesitate, and then bang, he's gone.
Once he makes that second cut, it's just, there's nobody there.
Put it this way, when you're driving a race car and you're pulling your way through a turn looking for the apex, you're not going at 100%. You're just, feathering the throttle until you hit that apex, and that's when you floor it.
Oh.
And that's what Anthony Oquendo did right there.
I'll have to try that with my Buick on my own.
Hey, just make sure you hit the apex right, because if you do it wrong, you send it into a lake. Also, I'm glad we saw the baby powder go off on that replay because I thought I was smelling things, and that's a symptom of something. So I know I'm not going mad.
Trying to make it a 9-point game is the senior kicker, Alexander McCloskey. And it's blocked, a low kick. The whistles blow as you can't go for the defensive two-point conversion in the FHS rulebook. But that's a big, big stop for Leominster.
If you are a Blue Devil fan, if you're just looking for, let's try to get this game tied, that is a huge swing for Leominster. They are barely clinging to life, down 8 points with less than 4.5 minutes to play. But down 8 is a lot better than down 9.
Yeah, now they can still continue to run their regular offense. They don't have to start chucking the ball all over the field to try to get a quick score.
See Bill Gates there on the sideline in the green coat. Longtime volunteer, board member, president of the board here at FATV. Also, father of a traitorous coach of the Leominster High football team, but that's fine. Listen, we're Fitchburg Access TV after all. It's fine. It's fine. Congratulations to him.
If anyone on this crew is going to play the heel, it's going to be John Gugerty.
Hey, I always make sure to wear orange when we play Marlboro, right? Bust out my Panthers gear. I watch enough wrestling. I know how to play heel. I'm no MJF, but I'm,
Thank God.
Red Raiders will be
playing. Yes, I know who MJF is.
Yeah, good.
Red Raiders will be playing at Kelleher Field in week number 5 of this season on October the 8th. That game, of course, a road game.
Panthers eat Raider meat. That's the saying when we're not playing Hudson.
Now McCloskey to kick off. He'll be bouncing on the ground, and now misplayed there and picked up inside the 15-yard line. Nothing but bad news for Brian Aguilar. And Leominster, if they're going to score to tie this game, they're going to have to start from deep in their own territory. And another Blue Devil is down, and that is Aguilar.
Aguilar immediately clutching at that right leg. Not a great return for him. As you said, he's marked inside the 15, it looks like. While we have a second, folks, we want to make mention of this being just the first game of our kickoff trifecta. We've vaguely referenced it a couple times already, Dan, but tomorrow we will be at St. Bernard's for another football game.
It'll be the St. Bernard's Bernardians playing host to the Groton Dunstable Crusaders, 7 o'clock from the Bernardian Bowl.
Dan and I will have the call for that, and then that is not all. You can see right there on your screen, 3 p.m. Saturday, Fitchburg State hosts their first game in 2 years as they take on Castleton, a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Fitchburg State versus Castleton, the third game of the kickoff trifecta right here on FATV.
Did they let you guys use the presidential box when you broadcast?
We were going to use the presidential box just to, minimize the number of people in the press box, but as it turns out, the president would like to use the presidential box. So we have not yet decided what we're going to be doing, but we will be there.
You realize how silly that sounds, a presidential box at a Division III football game.
Listen,
how ridiculous that sounds.
He's the president of the college, and it's his college's money, and well, it's not his college. It was Antonucci's when they built the
thing. That was even more ridiculous. But that's a story for a whole nother time.
FATV has given so many awards to Robert Antonucci. I'm fairly sure you get thrown off the board for just maligning the man in any way.
Meanwhile, things are happening on the field, and none of them good for Leominster.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a football game going on?
Looked like Newton wrapped up at the 9.
I was looking to see this Constant able to come back in the game because they had to carry him off on his last play.
Constant is back on the field.
Oh, a 4-yard loss for Mackay Newton. Got him at 86 yards on the ground tonight. Most of it coming on that one big run. Now play action throw for Encarnacion, incomplete, just out of his reach.
That looked very similar, Mike, to the play that got them the touchdown, and it was there again. Encarnacion was wide open, but the ball was just overthrown.
There was a Red Raider defender, at least in the vicinity this time. The ball was a little bit thrown ahead of him.
There was a corner and a safety waiting there. The question would have been, would Encarnacion been able to close and blow past them before they could narrow the gap? But now 3rd and 14 for the Blue Devils. Constant looking to pass. Now he has to run with it. See if he can get the yardage that he needs. He's going to get across the 20-yard line to the 21.
He's short of the line to gain, but that's a really good run, Dan. Now Constant slow to get up. I think this may have been a designed quarterback draw. Constant took that snap, and he pretty much immediately pulled it down and took off with it. We'll take a look at it again.
Yeah, he never even looks downfield.
Yeah, no.
He was running that ball all the way.
He gives a cursory play-action fake, mostly to say that he did.
Did a quick hippity hop, and he was off.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to come off again.
Leominster takes their second timeout.
So he can go back in because of the timeout.
Right. Without that, he would have had to come out because he was shaken up, and they did stop the clock. But with the way he's tugging at his helmet, he might just be coming off. We'll keep an eye on him.
It's been an exhausting night for the senior play caller for the Blue Devils and Caden Constant. Of course, we know he's got that experience. As a sophomore, he was able to beat the Red Raiders at historic Crocker Field the last time these two teams tangled.
Now it'll be 4th down and 1 for Leominster. Devin Gates in his 3rd season as the head coach of the Blue Devils, trying to find the right play to pick up a yard, keep this game alive for them.
The Blue Devils haven't won a game since that Thanksgiving, since they went winless in the fall too. But once the clock operator updates the down and distance, we will find that it is 4th and 1.
Constant will not come out.
So it'll be Tossie in the pistol to take the snap. He's looking to pass, he throws, it's incomplete! Too low for Encarnacion!
They tried that play action one more time, tried to hit Encarnacion. It was there, but the throw was low.
Play action fake. Looks for Encarnacion over in the right flat. The ball's thrown very low and uncatchable.
If he had delivered it on the chest, he was right there. He would have had the catch in the 1st down, but the throw was low.
Just the handful of miscues that have happened tonight.
You've got to feel bad for Jacob Tossie, Dan. He's thrown 2 balls in this game. One of them was pressed into action for a 2-point conversion to tie the game, and the other pressed into action for a 4th and 1 to keep your hopes alive.
That's so challenging to come in cold like that.
Now Fitchburg comes out, just try to salt this one away.
They've got the I formation, they've got Aquendo as the tailback. Dudek is the fullback.
Leominster jumps offside.
And you cannot have that if you're the Blue Devils. I think you pretty much need a 3 and out.
They only get 1 timeout left, so 1 1st down would probably let Fitchburg run it pretty much out.
And after the turnover on downs, Fitchburg takes over pretty much already in field goal range. We mentioned McCloskey probably has the leg for a 35-yarder.
And on 1st down, it will be Aquendo again to the 15-yard line. They wrap him up quick, but he's still going to get a couple yards out of it.
And obviously the most important thing, just keep that clock moving. Mike, are you surprised that this is Aquendo with the ball carries here?
Nope. They know the 1st down salts this away. I'm going to guess whatever he did, that they determined on the sidelines that he couldn't hurt it any worse. And that's why he's back in the game.
Okay.
The Raiders keeping their eyes on the back judge, judging how much time has elapsed and trying to milk all that they can on this 2nd and short. It's the cutback there by Dudek. Gets him to the 9-yard line.
Dudek gets the first down on the carry. And then Prasad had to help big number 73 off the ground, and it took a pretty good tug to get Sam Faulkner.
That's a pretty big heave to get Sam
Yep.
Faulkner off the ground. I've got a bad shoulder. I don't know if I could hoist him up.
325 pounds. Now on first and goal, Oquendo up the middle as the line parts the seas. Got him to the 1 yard line. Went 226 yards on the ground for Oquendo tonight.
Fitchburg does not have to score here. They could take a couple of knees here and this game's over.
It's going to be a direct snap to Dudek. And Colin Dudek finds the end zone.
Well, you could call it trick play and rub it in.
Hey, you know.
1 yard to go. Why not pull out the Wildcat? Colin Dudek gets a touchdown to make it 26-12.
We were saying earlier, you know, part of the reason there was so much pressure on Jake Tossie was, hey, it's Fitchburg. You got a chance to, you know, bust out a little bit of trickeration, go up by 2, salt this game away. Why would you do it? It's Leominster. You do that kind of stuff against Leominster, and hey, it's good practice for future opportunities because that's basically a 2-point conversion play.
Yeah, it is.
So it gives Fitchburg a chance to run that.
Alexander McCloskey would like a holder.
Just drop kick it.
Think it's still legal.
Call timeout. Why is no one calling timeout?
Is the drop kick legal in the Fed?
I believe it is. Richard Santana is gunning out there. He didn't get there in time.
He didn't make it. That was pretty funny.
I can't believe McCloskey is standing there holding the tee in his hand, looking around desperately for a holder. How does the thought not enter his head to call timeout there? It's ultimately just a 5-yard penalty and it'll back Fitchburg up, but, you know, always something for the film room, right?
Where's the holder? Who's the holder?
So,
as much as you want to celebrate the fact that you've just, you know, salted away a victory against Leominster, you still need to go out there and play the game.
kick is up, and it will be good. Second time tonight he's hit from 25, and it makes it 27-12.
And you know when they watch the film on Monday, the holder's going to take a ration.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to take a ration.
And the worst thing about it is that's Richard Santana, who was going to be getting, you know, so many plaudits for the incredible defensive play, and now it's going to be cut with, but you know, Rich, you still have to go out there and hold.
You fell asleep on that at the end.
Because they're going to win the game, it'll be addressed much differently than they were lost.
Oh, yeah. If that was like the game-tying extra point, or they would have missed it because he was 5 yards backed up, it would be a very different conversation than it is if it puts you up 27-12, giving the Raiders a chance to spoil the first game at Doyle Field in front of fans in just about 2 years.
It'll be a teaching moment, but with a little comedy twist in it.
There you go. And Mike, as we look forward to the rest of the games for Fitchburg this season, you know, they've got Wachusett and Tantascwa coming up the next couple of weeks, both of those games at Crocker Field here on FATV. I think you've got to be, you know, cautiously optimistic about the Fitchburg offense, especially as long as the ball is in the hands of Anthony Oquendo.
Well, the Mountaineers will be a tough test.
They may very well be the best team in Central Mass right now.
Fitchburg hasn't played them in quite a few seasons. And they've handed it to Leominster 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah, last year Leominster played Wachusett and lost 49-14. Fitchburg did play them 2 years ago in 2019, and that was a close game, but it was still a Wachusett victory. And even then, you know, the Mountaineers, they were undefeated in the Fall 2 season. They look like just a powerful team. They're going to be in they're Division I, the top division in high school football now.
Well, they belong there. With their enrollment, they're a regional school. They belong up in the Division I.
Oh, of course. Taken in at the 15-yard line by the Blue Devils. Rolling around to the far side. And a great return there for Jared Viola. Gets beyond the 35-yard line.
And real quick, reverse direction, look at it from the Leominster side. Under their head coach, Devin Gates, you mentioned, Dan, they went 0-4 in the Fall 2 season. Gonna drop this one almost certainly. What do you think, what can they do offensively to generate some kind of positive momentum? You've got to put aside, score twice and win the game. You got to put that away here. You've got to just get something positive, right?
Yeah, well, they got to find some consistency on offense. Times tonight they looked really good, but other times they had a really hard time keeping the Fitchburg defensive line out of their backfield.
On first down, Tossi has that batted away and incomplete.
Looks like it was Jared Phillips who knocked that down. We've called his number a number of times tonight. Phillips has been a force in the backfield this time. He didn't get in against the quarterback, but he guarded his arms up and swatted that one away.
So 59 seconds left in this game. The Blue Devils trailing by 15 points. On 2nd and 10, Tossi with a bit of time, throws to the near side, that's complete to Newton. Newton wrapped up and taken to the ground by Dudek at the 41-yard line. And now another player down for the Red Raiders.
This time it's Emmy Pastorino.
It's kind of the downside of going for the touchdown. If you kneel down, the game's over. Everybody's in their cars. How can people got to continue to play and risk injury?
Pastorino thankfully gets up and is able to hobble to the sideline where he will be tended to. Hopefully,
I think it's another cramp.
Hopefully just a cramp. It has become, even as it continues to rain, it is a very humid night, so hydration is important.
3rd down, 7 to go with 43 seconds left. Leominster feel like they're trying to become a little more aggressive with the passing game here. As Tossi taking time, rolling out right side. That's going to be incomplete. Again, that one a bit too low as he was looking there for Miguel Cabrera.
Well, it's just an opportunity for Leominster to kind of practice their 1-minute drill, see what they can do moving the ball downfield through the air. Unfortunately for them, not much they could do on this opportunity. And, being as it is, 4th and 7 in a 2-score game, I think they're just going to send out the punting unit. That's another side that needs some practice after what we've seen from them tonight.
Both teams have struggled with the long snap tonight.
The rain cannot be helping in that regard either.
That's the best one tonight.
Best kick we've seen, too.
And the Raiders will know better to stay away from that ball, not even try to get close to it, and they will let Leominster field it at the 25-yard line. A nice undramatic punt. Isn't that what we've been looking for forever?
A nice, simple punt that simply rolls down and is downed, and it's okay. And we are just one kneel down away from the end of this game. We want to thank everybody for watching and remind you to follow FATV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And hey, Nate said I get one plug, so I'm going to get my one plug in here. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_Gook. Do that. I play video games. It's cool. It's fun. You'll like it. Twitch.tv/the_Gook.
That umbrella is censoring me, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There you go. Now you're not censored by the umbrella.
Apparently nobody read the fine print in my contract.
Oh, do you get a plug too?
No.
Oh,
I don't want to be on camera.
Oh.
I think we're limited to 1 camera shot per game, and we already used it in the pregame. But it'll just be, let's say, a simple kneel down and then a running of the clock. But I thought I saw the kneel down. I didn't see the clock running. So that hasn't happened yet.
I think they lined up for it, and the officials decided that, no, we need to play more football.
So it'll be one kneel down. All that should be required.
Now, if Leominster wanted to be exceedingly jerkish, they could use their last timeout.
But instead, the horn will sound, time will expire. The Red Raiders are victorious at Doyle Field, 27-12.
A fantastic victory for Fitchburg High. And honestly, Mike, 27-12 may be a little bit generous to Leominster. Fitchburg dominated this game.
I didn't think the game was really that close, but because of the wacky plays and the turnovers, Leominster hung in there, and if they don't fumble the ball going in for a touchdown, they go ahead.
Yeah, it's an entirely different game if they get that score. That big run by Mackay Newton, the incredible defensive effort by Richard Santana to chase him down and then punch it out. Those second and third quarters were wild, weren't they, Dan?
You got the crazy stuff, but at least I got some touchdowns this time.
That's right.
But nonetheless,
Wasn't it? It was like 3 years ago now. We went almost an entire season without you getting to call a single touchdown.
Single home team touchdown.
Single home team touchdown.
I mean, I got a bunch of visitor touchdowns, but
The old touchdown.
it's like you got to start calling them enthusiastic for the demo reel. But nonetheless, final stats from what I have Leominster 156 yards of offense, Fitchburg 302, of which 227 came in the hands of Anthony Oquendo. On the ground, 3 touchdowns. Colin Dudek, 8 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown. Devani DeLeon, 8 for 34. Tyler Broussard, 3-6 through the air. He's going to want to work on the passing game a little bit, but I think a week from today, with less rain in the forecast, hopefully, will lead to a better performance in that regard. For Leominster, Caden Constant was 3 of 6 through the air for 64 yards and a touchdown. 10 carries for 19 yards on the ground as well. Mackay Newton, 15 carries for 89 yards. But of course, that fumble will loom large in his mind and in the minds of Blue Devils faithful. And Ricky Encarnacion, 2 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. But you can't forget as well the incredible defense he played today. This would be a much more lopsided game if it weren't for Encarnacion's defense in the safety position.
If it wasn't for Encarnacion, Anthony Oquendo would have had 250 yards just in the first half, I think. He was the last guy up, the last guy stopping Oquendo so many times, especially in that first and second quarter. And, for as great a game as Anthony Oquendo had, and hey, when you get, 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards, it's a heck of a game. But it would have been even more impressive if not for the work of Ricky Encarnacion. So a ton of credit is due to him, even in the losing effort. Again, Fitchburg victorious 27-12, the final score for the Red Raiders. Their next game will be next Friday, September the 17th, a home game against Wachusett. We've already talked about how tough a task that is. Leominster, meanwhile, goes at Doherty next week, and Doherty was 4-1 in the Fall 2 campaign, so that is a tough task for the Blue Devils.
One thing that will help, with the cramps and the injuries, it will be an extra day of rest as well, as we played here on a Thursday night. Only show in town.
Only show in town here on a Thursday night. Statewide, we got Fox 25 cameras here taking video for that, so that'll be good to see. And hey, folks, it's Thursday night. That means there's 2 more days where we can play football. Why don't we do 2 more games here? Let's call it a kickoff trifecta here on FATV. Tomorrow evening, Dan and I will be at St. Bernard's as they take on Groton Dunstable for a 7 o'clock kickoff right here on FATV. And Saturday the 11th, Fitchburg State hosting Castleton, a 3 p.m. kickoff there. Dan and I again with the call from Elliott Field here on FATV.
It's already been a lot of fun thus far. We've got some good games in store.
Mike Flynn, thank you so much for being here. Your final thoughts before we say goodbye.
Hey, it was fun.
It was fun.
I was.
Will we see you again at some point?
Yes.
Good. That is what we like to hear. All right. I think we have said just about enough. And after all, we've got 2 more games, folks. We want to go home and rest. You should turn off your TVs, get some rest. I think we're going to sign off here. So, from historic Doyle Field, for Dan Bolak and Mike Flynn, I'm John Gugerty. The final score for the final time, 27-12. Fitchburg High with the victory. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time right here on FATV.